Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everywhere you are tuning in today in the Lagos State Media Show. Welcome to the journey to the freedom and nation building. This show is a very important show that we discussed how we can bring about the current situation of the country on board with us, and some are coming. Ustaz Mading Wada Manyel, Faddal, welcome you to greet the audience, and then I will be playing a song. I will come back to give you the details what we are going to discuss. Ustaz Faddal, unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much, Isaac Tiang, Paul, and our viewers, Rumbek, Lake State Media, and wherever you are, all over the world, those who could be morning or evening or night. I think it's a great opportunity also to elaborate and discuss how did the other nation develop. It's not just from vain. It didn't happen accidentally, but it was a planned things. Again, I think this is a fortnight program, which I think also viewers and contributors also they will contribute positively and significantly also to make sure that what can we do, how can we change the situation in our motherland. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ustaz Mading Wada. I have to give you a song from our national artist, Franco. Welcome back. Welcome to Lagos State Media again into the this fortnightly show. We will be running this show fortnightly, and we will be discussing the things, the country building, and we will be focusing on the comparison of the other countries that we have been touched, and we need the honest participation. If you are watching down there, please you can share with us in writing. You can send us the comments, appropriate comments, or you can join us. We put down the link. You come in the show and participate in this instead of coming late after we wind up our last fortnight, we left part of Singapore, which we need to elaborate a little bit. That part, the interview of the Prime Minister Lee. That's what we want to watch. We'll pick up from there, and I will give it to our brothers to talk about it. My co-host Agar Deng Mapok not with us before. When we introduce and greeting people, I would like to give Agar 1 or 2 minutes to greet the our viewers, and then I play uh, interview of Lee.
شكرا الأخ أيزاك تيمبول أعزائي المشاهدين لليج ستيت ميديا. We welcome you, all of you, wherever you are. ده برنامج تمام زي ما سمعتم من أخونا أيزاك تيمبول. كل المشاهدين في أنحاء العالم يكونوا معنا هنا في هذه برنامج جميلة لوطننا جنوب السودان. Thank you.
Shukran Agar Deng Mapok. And then let's listen and watch these things.
Treat everybody, Indian, Chinese, Malay, equal.
Well, we are not ideologies. I mean, I'm interested in theories and formulas, but I'm more interested in what works. And if a theory doesn't work, I push it aside and try another one. And what works, we implement and improve on. We are pragmatists. We are pragmatists in the sense that we are utilitarians.
Singapore has been the most successful country in the past 40 years. Japan was the most successful in the past 50 years. It too was a one-party state for nearly all of that time. China has been the most successful in the past 30 years. It too was a one-party state. And Singapore the most successful in the past 40 years. Not suggesting that one-party states are good, but facts are these countries have done well. They've had smart people running them. Deng Xiaoping in China was a brilliant guy, it turns out. The guy running this place was a brilliant guy. So they put it all together. They've worked hard, saved and invested, and they've directed their energies and their capital into the right areas. It's worked.
I say without the slightest remorse that we wouldn't be here, we would not have made the economic progress if we had not intervened on very personal matters. Who your neighbor is, how you live, the noise you make, how you spit or where you spit, or what language you use. Had we not done that and done it effectively, we would not be here today.
And the government has been very wise in terms of crafting the right policies. It's been guided by meritocracy. It's been very fair and transparent. So the people of Singapore, I think, have a great deal of trust in the government. Maybe so much so that, the opposition maybe is a little weak. But if you look at what the PAP has been able to achieve in Singapore, then I think you can see why the people would be quite happy with the way it is.
They provide to the people what the people want.
And that is?
The people in Singapore are very happy. They have some of the best healthcare standards in the world. Singapore has got no racial tensions. There are many wonderful things that Singapore has accomplished, and that's why you'll find that the number of people who want to come and live in Singapore is much greater than the number of people leaving Singapore.
All right, thank you so much. This is the normal short clip that we will be focusing on. We'll start with you, brother Arnold, then we'll go to Stas, Madin as well. Garang Deng Thiel, welcome to Lake State Media. For them.
Media, and thank you to brother Madin, and then brother Garang just came in right now, and you, Isaac Cheng, and the panel all, and Agar. So the reason why we're doing this, as we said it before, the Singapore and South Sudan is different from the Singapore. But the reason is that we as South Sudanese, we really need to focus to see the country that have achieved a lot for their people, so that we need to reflect it back home to South Sudan. So we are not from another planet, but we are on the same planet that all these countries have achieved a lot of things for their people. So why not us, we South Sudanese? And we can see right now, South Sudan is better than Singapore, because Singapore is just a country. It doesn't have any minerals. It doesn't have anything as oil. Look at him right now, the way he's transformed his people life. That's why this mechanism, that's why we need it to South Sudan, especially to our leaders, to show those kind of progressive country, so that they can reflect back to our people, so our people can benefit than what the Sudan is like. Sudan, South Sudan is a country. So go back to what Singapore leaders saying. They're just basing their equation for three things, not much. One is a good governor, so the people can trust their government. This is the one thing. So we need to achieve, we need to see that thing, how it's working in ours. Number two, those people, it doesn't have what they call tribalism. As you see, Singapore have three, I can say, entities. You have a Malaysian, and you have a Chinese, and
Yes.
you have Indians, and those people are coexist together. So what is the equation that those people use to build this a great country like Singapore? So we can do that too as a South Sudanese. So we can put our blind eye for our ethnicity, like people saying Dinka, Nuer, and Shilluk, and all over on Equatoria. Those things that doesn't help us. We need to focus to the thing that can bring us together, like how to build our country to be as Singapore and other countries. So another thing I want to talk about is the healthcare that you see. As our last speaker mentioned, that our budget of the healthcare in South Sudan is 2%. Imagine 2%. 2% is not enough to any country, leave alone what we are province or something like that. So we really need to focus on the thing that can bring us together, and the thing that can help us to develop our country quickly, as much as we can see to other countries like that. So I don't want to take a lot of time, and then I'll come back later on if I want to give the chance to our brothers so that they can elaborate more, so that anything that they can see, they can pick it out from Singapore, so they can talk about it. And then we really need our what they call our political people who are in the power, so that they can execute things like how to develop the country. So thanks, and then I will come back later to give the rest to other people, because we can make it short. The videos are more, and then we need to cover a lot of aspects. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, Arnold, for your word and elaboration. I will go straight to Ustaz Mading Maniel.
Okay, thank you very much, brother Isaac Tiang, also my brother Arnold Benjamin Bill, and my brother Garang Deng Tiel, and our audience wherever they are. Last time or last fortnight, we spoke about the Singapore and development and how did this small, tiny island manage to emerge as one of the economic powers in the world, Southeast Asia. And in fact, it was not a coincidence. It was based on wise leadership with a vision and a well-executed vision and plans. Nothing impossible. One thing which I would like also to assure our viewers, it is not necessarily what formula which was used in any country could succeed in South Sudan. Singapore is not South Sudan, South Sudan is not Singapore. But why we bring all this comparison is to empower us and to show us the map road and the path others have gone through it. It's not an easy thing, but you can, by your own way, you can manipulate things and make it the way you want and take what you can benefit and leave what doesn't suit you. One thing I would like to highlight is a very important little word used by Prime Minister Lee, late Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee. He talked about we are very pragmatic. It's true. Singapore and leadership, they were very pragmatic. And in that pragmatism it happened in a very difficult time when the entire world was divided into major two school of thought, the socialists and which was led by the communist Soviet Union, and the capitalists which was led by United States of America and the others. Non-alliance movement, which was led by those of India, and Indonesia, and Egypt, and others. Although the situation was very difficult, but President Prime Minister Lee, he managed to sneak in and to bring all these powers and work out the best module which suits Singapore. Development is like when you go to a shop. When you go to shop, you will not just buy any suit randomly. You will choose the suit which will suit you, and you go and give it a trial. If this suit will suit you or not. It's the same thing, particularly on economic arena and economic development. Economics, there's no unified economic formula that people can agree 100%. It's belongs to you as a leadership. It's belongs to you as a country. The economic itself considers a lot of things. One of those things, the economic, consider your social structure, cultural structure, your historical background, your resources, your vision, and what you want to achieve by choosing this path of economic development. Those should be made very, very, very clear. When you lay down all this and you choose what will be the best for you, and that's exactly what Singapore have done. Singapore first they identified what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths. Based on that, they develop a model which suit them, in which that they manage to open their economy cautiously. This economy was open, but they give a chance to foreign investment based on their needs, not just open foreign investment. The real foreign investment, what do you need? You need technicians, you need flow of capital, you need development, you need infrastructure, you need environment issues, you need the small scale industries, do you need heavy scale industries, do you need service economy, which is include tourism, which is include investment in finance sector. All those things Singapore has studied, and it came up with a module. And I think this module is paid the dividends. Today we could see Singapore as one of the strong economies in the region. It was not coincidence, it was a proper plan, and I think they have done well. We are not far behind in South Sudan. It's a matter of we come up with it with what we call it the vision, ROIA. What do we want to achieve? And I was hoping that we should have what we call it the vision of 2030, which is 10 years plan, master plan, in which that we come up. This 10 years master plan could be divided into two. The first phase is 5 years, and the second phase is 5 years with evaluation, and also we need to see how we can implement this plan. I'm sure if we have a master plan for this 10 years, is more enough for any country to develop in 10 years. And I will come back with an example, which a living example, which I witnessed myself. I was part of it directly or indirectly, but when the time comes, I will talk about that. But this is the little thing which I would like to contribute about Singapore. And thank you, all of you, the viewers. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, Comrade Mading Wadamaniel, Ustaz, and Arnold Benjamin Bill, our brother, Grandeng Thiel. I think you have problem with network. You came and drop off now and then. If you come back later, or you can just send your comments to us here, we can share it with the viewers. All right. To move forward, I will go back to you, Arnold. If you can go further, because we need to to elaborate more about this development of the country, as you have touched the fundamental grounds already, and I can see that there are much left out. What is left out is just to let our leaders know the leadership is the key, and is you have to have a vision. This is where what you plan can work, like Prime Minister Lee has done. The vision he was having in his mind, that's what has brought Singapore to where it is. So if you have anything more you need to add, Arnold, you can just come in before we move to the other.
Yeah, thanks again, Isaac. I just want to add a little bit to my brother Mading said. So when we create this show, and then we show all the documentaries concerning development and all these kind of things, the fundamental things I want to say to the people of South Sudan, and especially for our leaders, we as a diaspora, people living in Australia like you guys, and people living in the United States of America, and people live in Canada and Europe, we have the same ideas that Singapore have used to develop this country. So when we came here, I consider myself as a Canadian, and then the Canada cannot betray me if I need something from here as a technical things or something that I can go to help my country. It can give it to me, and the same thing to you guys. So South Sudan actually have a capacity to do it without other country. Our people in diaspora are capable to do those things that can help to develop our country. That's why we're using this. If our government or our political can give a trust to their people in diaspora, call them back to their country and make a seminar to those people, whatever you learn from here, from diaspora, you're able to do in South Sudan. This is a big asset. So I will urge all our leadership to think twice concerning the diaspora people. Diaspora people, they are asset for South Sudan. This is why I just want to add that, and then we are not far from this. We can do it. Our people can do it by themselves in help for our country we are living in. They can help us to do that. We can beat Singapore. We can be more than that in South Sudan. So thanks. So our other brothers are here. I think they have a problem of internet. If somebody came, give him a chance quickly so that they can throw the idea he have, and then we can move on. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. I have to welcome Pastor John Mayardud and welcome our brother, Comrade Jibril Pano, to Lagos State Media in this very important show. It's the journey. We have started something that we need to work hard on it, the journey to the freedom and the nation building. Pano has gone, covered up. Let's start with the Pastor John Mayardud. Fadal, Abuna.
Let us begin our ayah. First of all, let us greet all the audience which is watching on the background, and let Almighty God help them to listen carefully, because you know what, 1,000 miles began with one step. For the Lagos State Media to prepare this is amazing thing. Try to collect all the intellectual people to reflect to their own country. This is the right step, because the step that we took, it's a step that, let us stay in opposition, let us criticize in South Sudanese, let us criticize the leadership and all those. But in my opinion, that cannot help. The only thing that can help is how we're going to challenge them. And I'm so proud to see those experts, those intellectual people led by my brother Mading Wadamaniel and Arnold Bill and Garang Thiel is here, and
Jibril Pano. We have Moses Maker also.
Moses Maker, yeah. All those I need, and that's why last time I suggested and I said, let us do this. Instead, we can generate the council for the intellectual. Those who are expert in engineer, those who are expert in medical doctors, those who are expert in economics, those who are expert in history, those who are expert in artists, or those who are expert in anything, that they can do best. Let them be at the asset now and make that council, and let us that council challenges the government who's seated in the government in South Sudan. And when we do that, because we can bring the option, instead of criticizing for the sake of criticism, then we can bring the option and say, like my brother Arnold said, that's where they can think, you know what, be careful. Think twice about the diaspora people. I know I'm one of the person who go back and forth to South Sudan. And I knew, honestly, the diaspora, nobody liked them. But we need to prove them wrong. We need to prove them that we are not the people that can jeopardize our country. We need to prove them that we are united. And one of the problems that they challenge us with, say into Kalamusaki, when we guys talking, it is at the moment we had influenced the document up. And they were right. We as a South Sudanese here in America, in Canada, in Australia, in Europe, in wherever we are, Nana Gadin Kashumbiyut. Maru community bitad elected, Maru community bitad Marve, bitad Warab, community bitad Twin Miadit, community bitad Twin East or Twin West, Marve, Kalam in a Noda, Ukalam in a Noda Mahayamfa. Nahnu Mush Gabail. We are nation. And when we are nation, we have to act like. And when we are nation, we're going to be proud. Like, and I'll give you an example now. All the South Sudanese around the world, they are very proud about few people, few athletes that went to Tokyo for Olympic game. Atieng, Peter Ball, Thomas Dane, Arop Rao, Marco Arop. We are so very proud of them. We didn't see them as Gabail. No, we see them as representing the country called South Sudan. And that's what the way we have to see one another. When I see Lado, I see him as a son of South Sudan. When I see Udo, I can see him as a son of South Sudan. Instead of seeing Garang as a Dinka or seeing Bol as a Dinka, no, we have to see ourselves as a citizen of that country. We have one mission, the country called South Sudan. And in that time, I can salute all the martyrs who died for our country. And I can say, your blood, your spirit, your death is not gone in vain. We have the country called South Sudan. And that's why we can be so proud, and we continue to be proud as the South Sudanese, and let us make South Sudanese as a nation, not as a communities, Gabail. And that's where I can stop there, and I will lead, and I'm coming here to listen to you as the expert of things, and let the Abuna sit back and listen to you. And then after that, I will make my comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Namshi is straightforward to our brother Jibril Pano as well, and we'll come back to you, Garang Tio. Further, Jibril.
It is how many?
Yeah, it's clear. Why? Loud and
I want to say happy Memorial Day to all of us. Indeed, it is a very special day where our martyrs, including the chairman of the movement, lost their life for us to have a South Sudan. But it's also unfortunate that their widows, their children that they left behind have no schools. There's no roads in South Sudan that connected all the South Sudanese. There's no hospitals. So our martyrs' death also telling us that we have to achieve something out of their death. One thing we achieved, and is undeniable, is independence of South Sudan. But the rest, if we checklist all of them, we didn't achieve anything yet. But it is a challenge for all of us to aim bigger, so that we can go beyond tribalism. We can kill tribalism, that the speaker was saying. I came here because one of the speakers here said, he gave an example of Singapore. Look, Singapore first leader, what he did was he increased the salary of the teachers. Today, as we speak, the teacher in South Sudan is paid less. How would the country develop if you don't have the teachers in place in South Sudan, and the payment was not good? The country will not develop. We need teachers in place. that their salary should be a very, very good salary for them, to encourage them to teach, so that our next generation of CPA or independent generation will have available teachers for them to be equipped with the knowledge of know-how. Like today, you're giving an example of Singapore. We are locked behind. First, there's no security. For all these, will come to one thing, which is security. If you have security available across South Sudan, simple people can develop themselves. But this thing is not available there. So it is a challenge for all of us. I think your example of Singapore was a very good example. But it need leader. It need a leaders, and it need a داري شعب برضه شعب مختزمين. نحن عندنا مشكلة كشعب جنوب برضه. Like today, we may be the third East African diaspora outside of Africa. We may be the third population, but yet we are not developing ourselves. Leave alone South Sudan, we are not developing ourselves. We are being fragmented by something called tribalism. And when you go to a different community, you view yourself as Dinkas, as Nuer, because I view myself as Maban because I'm from Maban. And that is the Karsa Kabir in the. We need to stop this. We need to build ourselves. Even today, if I tell you example, the Western, the Somali in the bank below Dabshel, and you also have a Western Union. We are sending dollars to South Sudan through a foreign people. يعني انت هنا بترسل قروش زول اجنبي هنا وتاني لما يمشي جوبا بيستلم زول اجنبي معناها هنا نحن ما مستفيدين So we in the diaspora, we are the big engine of economy. But do South Sudan government at the moment care about us? If they care about us, they can benefit a lot from us. And also somebody said here, we should not criticize. Criticism has two sides, the positive and the negative. When we criticize government, we want government to do better, or we want system to do better. It's not just sake of criticism, you just label this thing like that. No, people see what they see. There's luck everywhere in South Sudan. That's why the Southern Sudanese, they see that their government should do better. And we also should do better ourselves, because we have to kill tribalism. And this is not a very shallow thing. We have to kill it. Look, حواجات يعني قاموا من وين؟ حتى ما عملوا جيم لإنسان أسود، الناس زوروا في الغرب غيموهم. لأن ليه؟ لقوا حاجة ما عندي أساس. There's no basis at all. Our tribalism have no basis rather than killing us. نحن كلنا جنوبين. شفتها؟ فأنا ممكن نجيب منها ما تتكلم كتير، لكن أنا حبيت كلام بتاع زول الجبال جاب مثل بتاع سنغافورة ده مثل حقيقة. لكن if we want to go forward, we need police يدفع قروش تمام للبوليس والجيش وteachers أساتذة, because these are the basis بتاع security, these are basic knowledge. If you don't pay them, يعني عسكري بتاعنا حسب في الجنوب $5 في يوم ولا $5 في شهر. This is not going to help them. You will have a security, lacking of security everywhere in South Sudan, because police ما غادي يتفوز us. وأساتذة ده ما عندهم قروش. So how do you think people can develop if teacher want to teach? They don't want to teach because their salary is like far way in other beyond. فمنين أنا بجيب منين يا أخواني؟ we have a long way to go. Thank you for allowing me.
Shukran. Thank you so much, Jibril Kwano, for your opinion and the points that you have made. That is the reason we are here. There is different types of criticisms. Those who are complaining, there is a negative criticism and there is constructive criticism. And why these intellectuals, they are here, they are not giving a negative criticism. They are here to give a pathway that some of our leaders, not all our leaders, some of them, there are those who really have a vision and have a mentality and capability to do the job, but they're being drilled by different things like tribalism that we have already mentioned here. And in every journey or in every nation building, all these things, they happen. Even in Singapore, Prime Minister Lee, he suffered that even the businesses, the people who were against him about the tax that he has asked to be paid. And I can, if you allowed me to play this short clip, just less than 2 minutes, and then I will let our brothers continue from there. Ustaz Mading, you will come after this clip. Let me just bring it up. Clip, just less than 2 minutes. And then
Did you lose everything?
Yes, I mean, everything that I think is 25,000, it's all gone. It's all gone.
They bought it because they wanted the high interest rates. There is no risk without, there's no return, higher return without higher risk. But now they say, I didn't know about it. Well, maybe some of them are pensioners and old and cannot read English, then we'll look at it. And we told the banks to be compassionate. Legally, they have no case. But morally, you want to keep your customers, you give them some leeway, rescue them.
I've been a journalist since I graduated from
that
university.
is the balancing.
I studied in England.
I will just pause from there. It's a balancing. I'm just responding to my brother Jibril about the payments, low payment rates in the country. There's these things, they happen in the mess country or in a mess problem where people are just struggling. All these things, they are there. But this is the starting point. We will look into it, how we can adjust it, we fix it, we let everything will go until we achieve everything. They will not come in one day, by the way. Ustaz Moses, Ustaz Mading, sorry. Welcome. I will welcome you back again. David Pondak, welcome to the Lagos State Media once again. Seen you, and you will be given a chance shortly. I will start with Mading Wada before we move to Qatar.
Okay, thank you again, Brother Isaac Tiang. And also, I would like to welcome my brothers, David Pondak. I've seen him there for a very long time. And also, Jibril Wano, my brother. Just what I would like just to highlight very few things. And one of the most important thing, and I think we have to think around it as South Sudanese, is our mindset. Our mindset, you as a human being will never develop if you don't change your mindset. And you don't expect everything should be smoothly always and the way you want. You need to go around it and think out the square. You have to think outside the square. What I mean by that, we have some challenges, which are the fact. But those challenges, how we should try to overcome them. We complain a lot about the tribalism. It's true, it's there, it's existing, and it's one of the disease which is really affecting our progress in our country. And we are not the only country in the world or in Africa which is been faced by this tribalism. It's institutionalized tribalism. Because tribalism as tribe, nothing wrong with it, because everyone is created by God, you have where it came from. But the institutionalization of tribalism is the factor which affect most of the countries, and it's a level of civilization of those nations. You will find tribalism in other countries. It's just people come from a group of tribe to this secularism, like you can see in Ireland, North Ireland, in Britain, Protestant, Catholic, like Shia, Sunnis. Those are form of tribalism which is being elevated to another standard. And then you will see the ethnic differences, or which we call it here in the West, as sometimes on Soria, which is your black and white and all. Those are form of, because human being nature want to distinct and want to get more benefit in different ways. And if you could not compete, you need to use other means to get advantage on your own brother or sister or anyone else. And these things happen, but they are contained within the law of the country. The law fight all these things. Come to we in diaspora, we have a role, and see, we in diaspora, the people back home they should not look to us that we are threat or their enemies. It's not a one-way traffic. We also in diaspora, we should not look into those people as our enemies, also a threat. We are sons and daughters of those of South Sudan. We were born in South Sudan, majority of us. We came in diaspora due to a reason, could be different from person to person, but does not mean that we are not belong to that country, because we have our relatives, we have our towns, villages, wherever you are born. And if I go to South Sudan today, nobody will throw me out and say, no, you are not son of this place, because I have where I was born. And I will go and sit under my logo and Murabitai or Mazratai. Nobody will come and tell me, no, why do you come here? But the reality is that how can we use these resources for the benefit of development of our country? For our brothers back home, they should not look into diaspora as a threat. We may have differences in ideas. This is something natural for human being. We cannot say, no, we should think in the same way. If we think in the same way, we will not develop and we will not progress at all. Why don't we live where we disagree and we continue with where we agree? Or we use the theory of agreement to disagree in certain things. This will pave the way for us to progress and go. In any government, when I was working in Qatar some years ago, when Sudan was united, we expatriates, we used to pay to the government of Sudan millions of dollars in hard currency as a tax. Mugabil, that we get some benefit from the government of Sudan. The same thing was expatriated from India. Gulf countries all over the world. The government giving them facilities, the same thing in Egypt. And those people, they contribute in development of those countries directly or indirectly, regardless of them being opposition or supporters of the government. Because opposing the government or supporting the government got nothing to do with being a national of that country. And therefore, what we need is just a map road for all of us, how we can work to develop our country. The same thing, the people in diaspora, we should not encourage, we just feel, oh, we are hated by our brothers back home. It could be true, but I don't believe in that much, because when I go home, I feel comfortable with my friends, those who some are ministers, some are MPs. They're my friends and colleagues, and I don't have any problem with them personally. And I criticize some, and I disagree with some. Those are the few marks which I would like to make. But going back very quick about Singapore, they have done a lot of things. They have done a lot with a lot of challenges. And in any country, you will have challenges. For example, the business community. The business community is the most important community, how you can deal with them, because they can ruin your economy. They have so many tactics that can make your economy really difficult. The role of the government is to make investment environment very conducive for the businesses, to the business community, as well as to the citizen. What I mean by conducive atmosphere is to create opportunities for both. When you talk about business are being taxed, you have also to give concession to those businesses in other aspects. For example, you give them more loans with less interest based on that. Government loans or banks loans and whatever, in where they can earn more money, and also you can tax them indirectly while you will recover all this money. You can have like what we call the free area in free economic zone, where things can be sold in those areas without tax, but in fact you are taxed them indirectly. And when we come to Qatar, we will talk about those things, and sometime in Dubai also we'll talk about it, how did they benefit from that. But because this issue of Singapore, we have exhausted so many for for so long, and I think we have done a lot about it. We have given in what we can give in, but also it's a module where we can, as a humanity, we can be proud of it. Not only in South Sudan, all over the world. How did this a tiny peninsula with no resources came up and stand today as one of the greatest nations or countries in the world from nowhere? It's as a humanity or human being, we are proud of it, regardless being Singaporeans or not. But this is an example that a human being can conquer whatever is in front of him, and can conquer the mountains, and can achieve things which are people things are unachievable. I will stop here and give a chance to others. And this topic we have exhausted. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ustaz Mading Wada. As we heard that, and we have exhausted this last fortnight, and I got new brothers here who came in, and they were not with us last 2 fortnight that we have started this program. David Pondak and Majak Machar, welcome to Lagos State Media. We'll start with David Pondak, who came first before you, and I will come back to you, Mr. Majak Machar. David, are you hearing us? You can just open your camera.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, let me greet Ustaz Mading Manyel. My friend is my best friend, actually, whom we lived together some years back. Happy to see you again, Arnold, and the people who are watching all over, including the pastor who came and he left, Pastor John Mayor. I greet you all in the name of God. It's Sunday today, I don't know. I believe in God anyway. I just want to talk the role being here in this particular topic. I've been watching you in last 2 weeks, and I thought that this was the date of the expert, and I've got it actually from from Pastor John, who said it actually. This is the work that being debated by the expert. But as a citizen of South Sudan, I'm happy, and I have to come in to put in my appreciation in person, because this is a good debate. It can take us to where we want as a citizen of South Sudan, because applying comparative analysis, bringing Singapore as a case study to correct our problems back home is a good idea. And thank you for your elaborative ideas seen last week, together with the others people who have been contributing in this topic. To add my view into what other people have been said before, Southern Sudan is not a lucky state like Singapore. We have been suppressed by Khartoum government, which we believe was our home and a brothers on that part of the world. They did not develop South Sudan, and South Sudan was left out during the colonial takeover. We did not benefit from the colonies, especially the British. They did not leave something. There was nothing in South Sudan. We were just being left alone. This water, I just wanted to know that as they used to that we are far. South Sudan was left over during the independence. There's nothing being put in place, such as like infrastructure, even educationally. We were just being given what has been left out, what is left out from our brothers in the north. This matter. The second one, during the war, South Sudan, of course, was at war by that time during the Nyanya one, hustling between the east and the west, trying to actually ended in 1972 with that short relative peace, and South Sudan did not get anything from the big elephants who were fighting. We got nothing much. We did not get our right, and until this war, which brought South Sudan as an independent country today, broke out. This is another factor. We were left out. We did not benefit as well. Of course, as a nation, South Sudan today, 10 years nation, this is the right time to think of where to go. Because having a system in place, this will be a directing principle to take us where we want to go. The system of governance, that's the right thing now as right organization to take us wanted to go either to catch up or to go back. That's why I like the argument, because it will open the mind of all of us, whether in the government or the opposition, to reflect into the system that they want. We have country South Sudan now, and we are not like the old days where Singapore or the Tigers nation are actually coming out the bad days, and then they got the nation we are seeing today in Southeast Asia. Singapore was under the British, and they were looking the right the other side, the advantage, which and we as South Sudanese have this benefit now. We have this advantage. I mean, advantage of having the third front. This is an advantage. I agree with you. And the question remains with us as diasporan, the people who are in America, Canada, and Europe. It is the right time now to go back home. Go. You don't need to sit and tell people that I know this and I know that. Go and do what you know. Because building the nation does need people to do one thing. You come and contribute to what you know, where you know. Which area are you operating? Are you in the hospital? Go to hospital. Are you a teacher? Go to teach. Are you an engineer? Do that work. This is the next stage. And of course, SPM under Dr. John Garang was very wise. Sending young people away, this was the right time. This is the right time. He was expecting this time that we go back and build our nation. Now, what is the challenge? The challenge is we need a country peace. This is where the people will come in to contribute. You start with your own house. You don't need to go and even start with the government facility. You start with your house, start with your project, and then you will develop the nation. We love all. Now we have seen. What did we get after?
David,
we have benefited nothing. And from the war, it is the time to reflect on the big ideas like this to develop the nation that we all love, and open hand, let everybody come in, and we go and build the new vision of the country together, and leave the hatred, because hatred, we got nothing from it. We got nothing from those people and against us. I think these are the few things I wanted to add on. Love of the country will take us to another side of the road to reach a level like Singapore. Thank you, Tieng, and the team. I really appreciate your debate was very good since 2 weeks up to today. It can create those. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, David Pondak. It's all right. I have to say, I appreciate your opinion and your words. And what I would like just to correct a little bit is the security. The intellectuals, South Sudan has a lot of intellectuals overseas, and they are eager to go back home. But security, and this, do you see, this is another window. We don't need to look in one angle. Everybody has a different perspective views, how you can measure your thing, analyze, and go for it. I will come back for that. Let me just rush to my brother, Majak Machar, because we need to push away the comparison of the Singapore and South Sudan, and then we will move to Qatar. We have started with Rwanda, by the way. For those who are just new in this show, we started with Rwanda. And after Rwanda, what has happened with Rwanda? Most of the people in the world, they know what has happened. And where is Rwanda now? How did they get that strength to reach that level? That's number one. We now coming step by step. We have touched Singapore last 2 weeks. And now the last balance, this is what we are exhausting. And we will be moving around to see that it doesn't mean if the country went to the crisis and is really broke down, they will remain there forever. It needs just collective idea. We come like this is another window. The son and daughters of South Sudanese, they created to come up together and motivate this show. Thank you, Majak. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Lake State. I appreciate it. You give me opportunity a little bit. That's a good one. Let me express my opinion to you guys. Ana motam da Junub Sudan. Ana matabale ayi party in South Sudan. You guys, you have mentioned Rwanda and Singapore and Qatar. I know Rwanda better than Singapore. I don't know Singapore, how they succeed and how they come aggressive country in the world. I don't know. I cannot lie. I cannot say nothing about it. And I know Qatar a little bit. I saw a video one day. The Qatar man, he gave an interview with a guy in the street. He said, look, man, we are Qatar. We don't have anything. Anything. We don't have resources like Nigeria. We don't have oil like Nigeria.
I've seen that video, yes.
Yes, exactly. We don't have all this stuff. But we have a good leader. We have a good leader. We support him, and he make everything very cool, better than Nigeria, better than everybody. Nigeria have a lot of oil. It's number one in
Africa.
In Africa, even in the resource, another resource. You have gold, you have all this stuff. But what the led Nigeria going down is corruption. Qatar is going up because they don't have corruption. You see? Let me go back a little bit. I don't want to go back to California or the others. Let's go back to South Sudan. Anena fi Junub Sudan, al oil da, amata research, al oil da, oil fra Junub Sudan. We are 12 million people in South Sudan. Al oil fra Junub Sudan, mungkin yusruf ayi bed, $112 every day. every single family, $112 every day. 12 million people population in South Sudan. That is my research. I don't know how the others. $112 every day to family to South Sudan. How you feel? It's $12. $112 South Sudanese, American. We're going to be rich, right? If we use it the right way. Kafana ma bkalam katir, South Sudanese leader Btana, they are number one, they are affecting the country. هم يعوموا المشاكل بتاعنا كله. Can index $112 from oil every day, plus former, plus haywanat, plus dahab alindana, plus how much the family gonna have one day? One day, one family gonna get $500 USA. Each family in South Sudan gonna get that one.
Okay.
لكن هنا ما قادرين نعمله. المشكلة الحكومة بتاع جنوب السودان، المعارضة بتاع جنوب السودان، الكل بيعمل تمرد، ما عندهم أي هدف. الحكومة ما عنده هدف لتسليح بتاع جنوب السودان، ما عندهم، كلهم ما عندهم. أي زول جاي عشان يجي يلقى position يعمل كوكرة بتاعه ده في جوبا ويعمل يهجده from سيلفا كير لمتمردين لحد آخر متمرد، لحد أنا متمرد هسه حاليا. ده ياو مشكلة بتاع جنوب السودان. مشكلة بتاع جنوب السودان دايرين شنو؟ الأمني. زي أخواني اتكلموا قبل. الأمني في البلد أهم حاجة. كان ما عندك أمني يا أخوي يا أخواني تقعد في ليج ستيت هذا شو. كان ما عندك أمني أنت كيف تمشي تقدر تعمل مشروع؟ أنا الناس قاعدين في diaspora. We are all our heart in South Sudan. We have to go to make something. Whether it's from leg state, whether it's from a will, or whether it's from a Ye, or whether it's from Juba, whether it's from Rueng, or whether it's from a BA, whatever, our heart, we need to fix it, our South Sudan, to do something. أي جنة في جنوب السودان قاعد في diaspora ولا في كندا ولا في إسرائيل قلبه قاعد في بلد بتاعه عشان يمشي يعمل حاجة في المنطقة بتاعه. لكن ما في أمني. This is the biggest challenges in مواطنين بتاع diaspora في everywhere. The biggest challenges نحن دايرين سيلفا كير يعمل security. I cannot go there, man. I work hard here 24 hours and I got like $50,000 or $100,000. I'm going to spend it in South Sudan in my Muntika Batai. You go to your Muntika Batai, you spend something, you build hotel and I build farm or I build everything. And one day the water come wap it up. How are you going to feel? You're going to be crazy, right? You work hard on it. Maybe 5 years, 6 years, you work hard on it here in diaspora and you spend it there. And just the most of the water just sweep it up. Why somebody come and sweep it up? We have to have security. If we have security in South Sudan, Arang Bukun better place in South Sudan. Juba Bukun better place. Rumbek Bukun better place. Awil Bukun better place. Yambuya Bukun better place. Everywhere in corner of South Sudan couldn't be better place, but we need security. We need Salva Kiir to stand up and make security in South Sudan. But he cannot do that. المعارضين بيجوا كلهم يعمل تسلية هسه بياكلوا كلهم بياكلوا هسه قاعدين في هوتيلات عندهم بيوت حلوة وما في زول المشكل كان هم بيشاكلوا فيه بيشاكلوا في كراسي يا مواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان افتح عينكم الجماعة دول بيشاكلوا في كراسي بتاعهم ما مشاكلين عشان اجل المواطن سلف كثير ما قاعد في كرسي عشان اجل المواطن جي ايو or G10 or GG or G20 ما في زول بشاكل في اجل بتاع مواطن بتاع جنوب السودان ما في اي زول بشاكل اجل الكرسي بتاعه لكن نحن مواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان we are chaos here خطونا في مشكله مره بنتكلم في نوير مره بنتكلم في زاندي مره بنتكلم في دينكا مره بنتكلم في شنو نحن بتاع مواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان we need to identify what is wrong with us and stop that thing. Those guys, those lobby people up there, they're not our friend. They are not our friend. They just saying there about their seat. That's it. هم قاعدين في كراسي بتاعهم بس. ما عنده مشكلة. Either you die. How many people die every day in Lagos State? Government he can stop that. Can build few حكومة. How many people die كل ما يوم في جنجلة? How many people كل ما يوم die في على النيل? How many people die every day في Equatoria? Every day people they're dying because insecurity. We have insecurity in South Sudan. كفال المشكلة بتاعنا في جنوب السودان insecurity. والناس قاعدين فوق that our leaders they cannot stop that. The only way we can stop it, we are civilian of South Sudan or a citizen of South Sudan. We need to shut up and stop blaming each other. This guy and this Gabila and this Gabila, we need to stop that. Come together and wait our chance or election, or we can have another plan and kick those guys out. And we have to get another one can produce South Sudanese, or just we need security. يا اخواني قاعدين في Lagos State media عشان هم ابوك يمشي يزرع في ظهر البيت بتاعه ما في زول يمشي يقتله تعمل مراه وهم ابوك يمشي يعمل مراه ولا اخوانك يعمل مراه انت ترسل قروش هناك تمشي تعمل لك حاجه ولا فندق ولا اي حاجه اعمل اي حاجه ولا انت ميكانيكي تعمل حاجات عشان البلد يكون مريح شويه لكن the government they fail all of them. And شكرا جزيلا we'll go to another brothers.
Shukran. I thank you so much, Anna Bashkurak, my brother Majang Machar Kweth, for your words and opinions regarding you rakasta jiddan for security anyway.
Yes.
Which is we have that thing, and also there is a second thing about tribalism. Tribalism, we will be having a show tomorrow. Wherever you are tuning in, I don't know how many hours left for you. Will be tomorrow on Monday, Australian local time, the same time that we have started this show at 11:30. We will be having a show. We need to eliminate Ajabugulu tribalism. The Gabilia Shani Yefud Benena Kalis. If we united here, the show that our intellectuals, brothers who are just having a vision, they will be having access to implement what they have learned. This is the image, and that is my answer to the people who say that the doctors and the engineers, pilots, and those who are still overseas in diaspora come back home. This is where we want to start that show tomorrow. Thank you for that. Arnold Benjamin Bill, I will give you the last few minutes before we go to the break, everybody to have a break of some few minutes, and then we go to Qatar.
Yeah, thank you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys once again, people of the panel. I appreciate all the elaborate all these words. I thank you for that. I just want to ensure people, when we create this show, we studied a lot, you know. We touch every branch that affected South Sudan, start from tribalism, economy, health, education, and we're gonna talk to all of these things. So when we do this show, we really study it, we know what we're doing. So we really need to let people, our leadership or our politicians in South Sudan, we are here to help because we have some ideas that we have it from here. For example, I'm here in Canada, so if I need anything, like if I go to build any mining or anything, I can get technology from here and I can take it there. So our diaspora is a backbone of South Sudan. So we really to preach that, to know you guys have a people that can stand with you in a bad time, like Singapore did. So when we create this show, another thing I want to tell you guys here, South Sudan is in existence for sake of Arab, because our South Sudan right now, we have political independence, but we don't have economic independence, which is a big threat for ours. If all South Sudanese come together and sit and talk about this, we will not have a country. If today Sudan say, okay, we don't need your oil, and Kenya closes its border, and Uganda closes its border, what will be the fate of South Sudan? Will we collapse? This is a big issue, and people didn't realize that. That's why we create this, to see other countries like Botswana. Those are countries that are a landlocked. Now, how they survive? Those things are coming up, and you guys be patient. And then we have a long way to go. If we say we are criticizing ourselves, we're doing nothing. We have to catch it hand in hand with our people back home, with the good ideas, with a good pragmatic solution, so that we can come up with a new Sudan. We are not independent yet. This is a fact. A lot of people know that. Okay, I don't want to talk more, and then we let you to go to our other show. That's now is almost 1 hour. Thanks.
Yeah, it's all right. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that thing to let everybody know again. For those who are new in this show, to learn more, I will give. Let's have a break, and we will come back after Gordon Kong song Sudan Mujahida. This is where we will come back and start with the Qatar. Wa shukran jazilan.
Belena, Sudana, Belena, 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 Taban, Benzaman, Yarabuna. Aliju Ayana, Belena, Mamurta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira, Lena, Yalna Maidin, Bainana, Rabuna. Belena, 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 Taban, Benzaman, Yarabuna. Jali نشوف أيانا بلدنا ما مرتاح سودان مجاجة ما فرا علينا جالنا ميدين بيننا ربنا بلدنا تعبان من زمان يا ربنا تعال نشوف أيانا بلدنا ما مرتاح سودان مجاجة ما فرا علينا يالنا ميدين بيننا ربنا يا شعب سودان يا اخوانا شد لكم بلد فيه مشاكل قلبي 200 درجة 200 درجة قلبي 200 درجة يا شعب سودان يا اخوانا شد لكم بلد فيه مشاكل قلبي 200 درجة 200 درجة قلبي 200 درجة يا شعب سودان يا اخوانا شد لكم بلد فيه مشاكل قلبي 200 درجة 200 درجة قلبي 200 درجة بكيد عشانكم يا سودان شد لكم يا جماعة شد لكم يا جماعة ربنا بيساعد أنا بكيد عشانكم يا سودان شد لكم يا جماعة شد لكم يا جماعة ربنا بيساعد Our blood bleeding in Sudan, Lord our God, come stop bloodshed, our land not comfort. Sudanese are finished because of war between us. Our children terminated among of other law. Our blood bleeding in Sudan, Lord our God, come stop bloodshed, our land not comfort. Sudanese are finished because of war between us. Our children terminated among of other law. You Sudanese, be careful, we all have problem. When will I be happy? And then be happy. When will I be happy? You Sudanese, be careful, we all have problem. When will I be happy? And then be happy. When will I be happy? I'm crying about you. Sudanese, be careful, my people, who take care of my parents. God bless you. I'm crying about you. Sudanese, be careful, my people, who take care of my parents. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you, Gordon Kong too. We appreciate your song. You are one of the legends of South Sudanese. Your song is very meaningful, and it's really, really uniting, and it's matching with the show that we are here today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever everybody is tuning in. It's not a time for just if we criticize each other, we don't need to criticize the government. We don't need to take arms. We try all these things and we fail, and nothing has come, and it's making it worse. So that is the reason we have created this show, to talk in the tune that is called positive criticism, and we have also to come together. Let's just put aside Ajad al-Bigulu de Gabilia or Ajad Kide Ushunu. Our brother Jibril Alat, you are driving, and it's one of our rules. We cannot allow somebody to be in the live show while you are driving. I don't know whether that will be good for you.
No, I'm not driving.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm not driving.
Okay. Jibril, not Jibril Kwano. It's Alat. He log off now. Not you, Kwano. All right. Yeah, to come back to the point, yeah, we are going to watch. We are moving now to see there are other countries that we need to make some comparison, and we discussed to let our people in South Sudan, our politicians, those who are living in a hotel and those who are living in Tukulia. There are some few politicians also who live in Tukulia. There are those who are living in hotelat, pyramid or pyramids and all these things. They are there, and the money that goes into their rent should be paid to the army, should be paid to the teachers, should be paid to what? That thing also will have a time or a day we will be discussing this issue. Medina al-Dola Qatar is also another small country, it's a lock country. Let me just bring it in. There's 12 minutes documentary that somebody has shared. I want to bring it on board. Qatar. Why is Qatar is the richest country on earth? Visual, Patrick. Let me go and see this guy.
Located in the Persian Gulf, Qatar is a country with an area of a little more than 10,000 square kilometers. Just to give you some idea of just how small that is, it's nearly 40 times smaller than California. So when this country got its independence from the UK in 1971, Qatar was a faraway, hostile, and very, very poor place. As a matter of fact, it was one of the poorest territories of the United Kingdom. And, well, that kind of made a lot of sense. The Qatar Peninsula is a place where temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius in summer. It's almost completely covered by desert, and it was certainly one of the most uninhabitable places on Earth. But it didn't stay that way forever, and today Qatar is the richest country on the planet. That's right, the citizens of this tiny nation enjoy a per capita income of more than $125,000, which is almost 3 times the income in France and 5 times that found in Chile. This is a country which was almost uninhabited, a country that could hardly survive on its fishing industry, and today it looks something like Scrooge McDuck's safe.
Just tidying up a bit, keeping things neat.
The government of Qatar has investments in properties all around the world. It is the birthplace of Al Jazeera, the most important Arabic media company. And, well, then there is Doha, the capital, which is a sea of skyscrapers, malls, and luxurious cars.
A mix of Monaco and Vegas, but without the alcohol and gambling. There's no room for simplicity. Everything is sumptuous, huge, and sparkling in Doha. Angel Sastre, Conflict Areas reporter.
Qatar has gone from being a dark shelter for Wahhabist preachers and has become what people might consider the most open country in the Middle East. This is, of course, excluding Dubai, but as you might know, Dubai is an emirate and not actually a country. In modern-day Doha, we can find international universities, or the so-called Church City, a complex of Protestant, Orthodox, and Catholic churches, like the Church of Our Lady Rosary.
The $20 million Catholic Church, which seats 2,700, is located in the southern outskirts of the city on land donated by Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, Qatar's emir.
So now the question, of course, has to be, how did Qatar achieve this remarkable transformation? Well, let's take a look at that.
LNG blessing, liquefied natural gas. In other videos, we've discussed the keys as to why some countries are so rich, but in Qatar's case, it is much simpler, and it can be summarized by two things: oil, and more importantly, natural gas, a massive, massive amount of natural gas. Yep, that really is pretty much it. If you're disappointed, well, just hold on a second, because it's actually quite an interesting story. The first oil fields, they were found in the 1940s, and by the 1960s, exploitation was already consolidated, and things in the poor country of Qatar changed, but not really that much. The thing is that it wasn't until the beginning of the 1970s that Shell found the biggest treasure of this country, and that would be the North Field, which is the largest gas field in the world. But at that time, well, natural gas, it just wasn't that profitable. You see, at the time, gas could only be transported through gas pipes, and Qatar was far from places where this gas could be used. Even Shell, well, they soon forgot about it. But, well, things, they were really about to change. In 1996, the old Emir Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, who abdicated in 2013, staged a coup d'etat while his father was in Switzerland. This Emir reached power with a clear idea, and that was that the future of Qatar was in gas. They simply had to exploit their huge gas fields. And so, well, he did just that. The new Emir decided to invest in an undeveloped and rare technology. This technology, it's liquefaction, which is the ability to carry natural gas in its liquid form so that it could be transported in large ships as if it was oil. In order to do this, the gas needed to cool down and be kept at a temperature of minus 161 degrees Celsius, which is minus 258 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this is something that is pretty inconvenient to do. So while Qatar, they decided to invest enormous quantities of resources in order to boost the development of this technology so that it could be used on a massive scale. Because of that investment, Qatar is now the world's largest exporter of LNG. With this technology, Qatar is able to export its enormous gas supplies to the rest of the world. In fact, last year, 3/4 of Qatar's gas went to Asian countries like China, India, South Korea, and Japan. And well, there's more, because the industrial complex that Qatar has developed is so big, so large scale, that the country has managed to have the cheapest costs of extraction and liquefaction in the entire world. To illustrate this, a methane tanker of LNG is 4 times cheaper in Qatar than it is in the United States. And this, dear viewer, well, that's the secret of this small and wealthy country. But this, it's only a part of the equation. I mean, not only does a country have to exploit the resources they have, but they also need to use that money to generate other money, or they're going to end up like Angola or Venezuela. So besides this innovative process, Qatar has some other keys to their success.
Qatar Power.
Since Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani reached power in 1995, they have changed significantly. In his 18 years leading the country, Qatar's population is multiplied by 5, while at the same time it's become the richest country on earth. So the old Emir, he's got plenty of reasons to feel proud of himself. Well, let's move on from this, because Qatar, it started to generate a lot of economic resources, and the question now is, well, what are they doing with this money? Well, despite what it may look like, they've actually mostly invested it both nationally and internationally. Qatar, they've created the Qatar Investment Authority, which is a huge fund to invest money all around the world. It is known as Qatar's Power because they have in their hands more than $330 billion. And when you consider that the population of Qatar is less than 3 million people, but of those 3 million people, only 300,000 are Qatari citizens, well, you can do the math. This fund, it has made significant real estate investments all over the world. In London, a big part of the city belongs to Qatar, including offices, hotels, apartments, and, well, in the United States, Qatar was, in 2016, the 4th largest office investor in the country. In Manhattan alone, this fund has invested $5 billion in the last 2 years. And they're not just investing in real estate. This fund also has major shares in many multinationals. Qatar is, for instance, one of the largest shareholders of companies like Volkswagen, Iberdrola, Barclays Bank, Tiffany & Co., Shell, or even the giant Rosneft, the oil company of the Russian government. In the image I'm about to show you, you can see how much foreign investment has increased as the production of gas and oil has grown.
And it's not just international investment here. They're also investing lots of resources inside the country. Tens of billions has been spent on highways, ports, airports, research centers, financial centers, etc. etc. And so you might be asking now, well, what's the goal of all of this? Well, that is to be able to, in the future, replace the income they get from oil and gas with income from all of these investments. But you know what? The moment when the gas business runs out is still too far away to really be a problem.
There are no analysts who can say when demand for gas will wane. For oil, there are people who see peak demand in 2030, others in 2042, but for gas, demand is constantly growing.
This idea they have of investing rather than spending the money from natural resources might be one of the most important differences between Qatar and other countries who are also rich in natural resources. Most of them, they find it too easy to spend the money today and not think too much about the future.
Towards effective independence.
When Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani reached power, he also had another thing in mind. Qatar, it had.
All right. I will cut it that way because we have learned some basic and what we are looking for our country. Why we do some comparison with other nations who were really very remote or has gone through atrocities or through poverties, and they are landlocked, and they are now the best in the world. This I got that one. This is the thing that we are talking about, the natural resources, how you implemented them. So I will leave these things. I will start with my brother Arnold Benjamin Bill to start with it, and then we'll go to Stas Mading Wada. It's a guy who also lived in Qatar. He worked there before for some years. Yeah, Arnold, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Isaac. And thank you for the panel. So actually, I just got one of comparison. I just want to make here, like exactly what the speaker said, that the car was a tiny, very poor country, but it turned equation around. It become one of the rich countries in the world, and say that like the reserve is almost $355 billion compared to the population of that country. It was rich. It was extremely rich, I can tell you. So the thing is here, brother Isaac, all these Qatar had already and have, we already got it. For example, they have oil and we have oil. In fact, South Sudan, there are maybe there's some area they're still not been explored yet, but I think our oil we use right now, I think it's 3 places, which is I think is Paluch and Paluch and Bantu and all this kind of thing, which is approximately would be like 3 billion barrels. Yes, we'll say like maybe 50 or 60 years, approximately. The same thing, Qatar have a oil, South Sudan have an oil. Qatar have a gas. Gas, actually, I want to mention today, our lake area is a place that concentrates with the gas. A lot of people doesn't know that, but I know that. Especially lake area, is concentration of gas is too much in Lake State. And then maybe when you get the gas, so when you see the petroleum, according to geology, you see the petroleum would be down and then up would be gas. Because according to chemistry, the oil is heavier, so it sinks down, and the light and stuff like gas will be up here. So our area, Lake State, is very much, I can tell, but in the future, people will explore, will get much. The same thing, what our South Sudanese really focus on, we have to focus on tourism too, is another income to the country. Like Qatar mentioned it, it just diverts all the revenue to different places. So when the oil dry out, you will have another option that you can get money. So in comparison, South Sudan have a better position for guitar, leave alone the tourism, leave alone agriculture. So if we really thinking that to bring that country up, we really need to focus on those things, agriculture and tourism and oil and gas. And all this we have. So why our people suffer? Why our people suffering? That's a big question. And we are here to look for those kind of things, why we are suffering, even though God, Creator, give us everything. I can go in South Sudan 3 years or 4 years in the forest, and I will be survived. I will drink and I will eat. It's never in the world that you can get that place. We are in what they call Jannah. So we really need to push ourselves a little bit, and then we can come up that something that can help our country. So I have no idea a lot of Qatar, but I will leave the rest to our brother Mading. Maybe he live there, and then the mechanism that Qatarian made, so that to be one of the extreme rich in the world. So thank you so much, and I will be listening to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ustaz Fadal Mading.
Okay, thank you very much, Isaac, and the audience and my colleagues in the studio. First of all, what I would like to mention before I embark into development in Qatar is for the last few weeks we have been talking about comparison of these countries. What we are doing, in fact, is we are not overlooking the basic things. We have discussed security before in South Sudan and infrastructure. All those are the major things of any development of any country. And those things we have exhausted them, and I think we are talking now. We want to bring out how did these people achieve? They had their own challenges, but also we are not exaggerating things, or we are not just talking about achievement of those countries without looking into the drawback or the obstacle we have in South Sudan. We understand that and we know that, and now we have discussed those issues before. And I think that should not bog us down not to talk about how the other countries and nations really progress. Yes, I will go to Qatar. I will make some few remarks about Qatar. How did some other things happen when I was there, and some happened before, and some happened after I left. And totally, I have been in Qatar for 8 years, and I work with Qatar Petroleum, which is one of the biggest companies in Qatar, and the company which was driving force behind the development of Qatar as a nation. One thing which I would like to highlight very quickly, the population of Qatar. Qatar is a very unique country in the world, very unique. Why is very unique? It's not like Singapore, it's not like Rwanda, it's not like another country which developed. It's the country which developed by the foreigners. The population of Qatar is 2.6 million, in which the 320 are Qataris. 13% of the population of the country that are the citizens of that country, and the rest are foreigners, expatriates. And imagine such a country which 13% are the citizens of that country emerge and become one of the powerful countries in the world. It's real powerful in media, powerful in finance, powerful in economics, powerful in politics, powerful in all aspects. Compared to the size of Qatar, Qatar is more recognized more than its own size and population. But why is this happening? Because of good leadership, because of vision, because of their contribution internationally, because of the stability which they create in their country, because of the lot of things they are doing for humanity. As I mentioned, 320,000 population of Qatar which are citizens. 200 and 300, 2,300,000, which are the expatriates, the foreigners who are living there in Qatar and are contributing. There are a lot of things which are similar between us and Qatar. Qataris themselves, why did they left the United Arab country, United Arab? Qatar was part of this, we call it Maimoaz Tisai, which is the 9 United Arab countries in that region, states in that region. Qatar was part of it. In 1971, before they get their independence, there was a dispute. And this dispute was technical issues which create the dispute. Qatar and Bahrain, they decide to leave that unity. And they left the unity for others, the other 7, which are now called United Arab Emirates, including Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, Mutayyum, and the rest, 7 of them. Qatar decided to break away. Bahrain decided to break away. People were saying Qatar will never ever succeed. You are a very tiny country, a semi-island, peninsula, you got no resources, and you are going to get out from here. What are you going to get? The Qataris, they accept the challenge, like what happened to Singapore. They accept the challenge and they start to develop their countries. What were the main things for Qatar? Qatar, the main things was the pearls. That's the pearls industry, Ludo, and then the fishing. Qataris, they managed to sustain their economy based on the little thing they have. But in fact, there were a lot of challenges until they discovered the oil. When they discovered the oil in 1936, which is the first oil field in that area, which is called Dukhan. I've been in that place and have visited that field, in fact, several times because it's one of the operation areas. I used to go and stand there and see exactly that oil field. Now it's been closed because it's been exhausted, but it was one of the biggest one and was operational in 1941. Qatar has gone through difficulties like South Sudan now. One of the things, when Amir Sheikh Khalifa bin Hamad Al Thani was the Amir of Qatar, the old man messed up the entire country. What he used to do, there was no development in Qatar until recently in the beginning of 90s. He put money at home. He give whoever come and visit him. And whoever come and give him what they call baya. There you are the Amir, you are the best man, and you come and tell him whatever, he will go there. The Syria will give you whatever, millions or thousands, without doing anything. Dramatical things happen, which is very rarely to happen in modern history. It was the dramatic things that his son overthrown him, his own son. Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa, 1995, overthrown his own father, Sheikh Khalifa. Was a big issue. And his father left the country. He was very annoyed. He seized all the fund of the country because all the account of the country was under his name. He left country bankrupt with no even a single dollar. Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa, he said, my father, I have no problem with you. He went to Italy with his family, part of his family. He settled there with his wives and everything. Sheikh Hamad, he started to develop the oil fields and he started to borrow money from businessmen, the Qatari businessmen, to pay salaries, wages to the people. Until the oil went into the market, you open an account for the country and he started to pump the oil. In a very short period of 3 to 4 years, things changed, totally things changed. Qatar changed, and he came up with a vision. And he told the nation, because he was criticized by his own uncles and brothers, why you overthrown our father? And why did you overthrow your father? He told me, I respect my father. I gave him a lot of respect. But this is necessity for the country to move forward. My father, the old man, ran out of ideas. He doesn't have anything to contribute at this stage. It is better for us to make this country move. My people, nation is not about individuals. Nation is not about friendship. It's not about who is handsome, who is your father, who is your mother, who is your tribal man, who is your relatives. It's about the national interest of the people and somebody who can fulfill that national interest. We had example in this country in Australia when Kivarat was moved from the office by Julia Gillard. Julia Gillard, she's atheist. She doesn't believe in God. She doesn't have religion. But the Australians, they did not ask, if you don't have religion, you cannot be our leader. They asked her, what do you want to do for us? She said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She was given opportunity. She had done her part. After some few years, the mother, one of his wives of Sheikh Khalifa, died in Italy. They decided to bring her back to Qatar. And his son Hamid was asked, can you allow your father to come to bring your stepmother back? Say, yeah, that's his country. He came and he took his father around the city and he put him in one of the places. His father was asking where I am. He was asking the driver, where are we now? They say, you are in Doha, in Qatar. They say, are you sure? He said, yes. After he settled, he asked, he wanted to see his son. His son, Sheikh Hamid, was a bit scared because he overthrown his father. He doesn't know what. He said, my son, I forgive you. I forgive you. You were right. You put this country in the right direction. And I forgive you. The whole money I took, I gave them back to the country. I don't need them. This is one of the things happen in Qatar. Many people really don't realize how these things happen and how this Qatar move. And in reality, Sheikh Hamid himself, he linked his power in 2013 to his son. He said, this generation, I've done my part. It is your next vision now to go from here to Qatar to 2030, in which now Qatar where he is. I will stop here to give a chance to the people, and then we will come back to talk much about how this Qatar developed the gas and petrol and how this, what the investment they did. But this is a very little history about how did Qatar emerge from nowhere to be one of the countries and the dramatic things which happened between the son and the father, and then the change of the government, and now where Qatar is. And the same guy, he gave up his power to his son, and his son Sheikh Tamim now is the leader of the country, and he put Qatar in another stage. This is the way countries develop. Countries develop with vision, not accidentally. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ustaz Mading Maniel. I will go straight direct to my brother Jibril Kwano. Kwano, unmute yourself, and you are the next.
Well, I don't have much to say, but I just want to agree with Brother Majak, who spoke earlier here. All these examples that the speakers are giving make sense, but you know, دولة لدولة أو شعب لشعب في حاجات ما بتقاربوا. Our case maybe Bangladesh, Singapore, and Rwanda, because remember when Bangladesh separated from Pakistan, they had a lot of trouble, and then they overcome it by a good leadership. Our problem in South Sudan is مشكلة أمنية. If we can have security available, all these things will happen. Then you will have ناس من كارز يعني investors comes to you, and then they will invest their money on them. Even we, the South Sudanese living in diaspora, we can invest if there is a security. Like Brother Majagal, you know, أنا ممكن نبني hotel في Ruweng ولا في أي منطقة. لكن what is the guarantee? Then tomorrow people will fight, and then all your money you invest come to zero. I agree with him 100% with that. Because هو قال حاجة كويس برضه. خليك من example أنتوا قاعدين تعمل بتاع قطر وين تخليه، لأن قطر دولة تاني. هو قال حاجة كويس، حاجة مهم، بأنه نحن لازم نتكلم حاجة اسم قبيلية ده نخلوها. ده مجاك جبال قالوا. بأنه نحن برضه ما نتابع leaders. We don't have to follow leaders. Okay? We have to follow our own self. Then you need water, I need water, you need a school. Every tribe in South Sudan, manina there hajat asas. These are basic needs. You need schools, you need roads. If the government is not delivering this, what about us, shab? We can ممكن نعمل انتفاضة شعبية. And then ممكن نتلم election, or we can regroup as people of South Sudan and نقول يا جماعة, we don't need you guys anymore. Then you are not delivering anything. You don't deliver anything, you must go. بانتخابات ممكن يمشوا. بالانتفاضه الشعبيه ممكن يمشوا. لكن the question is, the Majak is doubting, are we people of South Sudan united? If we are united, we can do miracle. لانه البترول ده خليه، انا بقول لكم بترول ده خليه. ليه؟ لان هنا لو شلنا رنگ بس منطقه بتاعنا، منطقتنا في شمال النيل كلها، ممكن بياكل جنوب السودان ده سنين. انت ما عندك بترول ذاته، ممكن اكل جنوب ده بايش باياج سنين. حتى سمك الافريقيا بيقولوا اللي بيسموه العرب جنايه الجامده، عندنا هناك مليان ده برو غالي برضه من بترول. نحن عندنا ثروات، لكن the question is امني leader that can put all these things together. And هنا ممكن نعمل example of Singapore, but they are different people. ممكن نعمل example of Qatar, still they are different people. We ourselves, we need to accept ourselves, and then we have to find way out. Land tribalism there is an old system. It's not going to work today with us. Tribalism there, nothing will bring to us except the death. We need to abandon this way of tribalism and then move forward.
Nothing will come a new day, Jibril.
No, Anna Magia, Majak, I really love the way you narrated the story. Lano nas bemut في Lake States, ناس بموت في المنطقة بتاعي، الناس دي بموت لأن ما في استقرار والأمن، ما في. لو في أمن أنا ذاته برسل لي قروش، ممكن نعمل لي عمارة صغيرة في بلد، أو ممكن نعمل لي بزنس. لكن أنا برسل قروش تاعي لمنو؟ بكرة ده قروش ده أنا ما بلين فوق، شفتها؟ فعشان نخلص الكلام ده كومرد يا all my brothers, we really need to talk like this because يعني ناس قدموا نقد للحكومه زمن كبير almost 8 years nothing changed. لكن كلام الجبال ما جاء قال ذا شعب بتاع جنوب عندهم خيار يوم الليله لا بكره انه لو نحن قلنا انه الناس دول كلهم زي ما هو حاسبوا كان SPLM IO ولا SPLM IG ولا former detainees, if they are not working for the interest of country, to hell with them. We can bring new leadership. شفتها؟ I'm sorry for using this word, but it's just an expression.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm really appreciate what Majak is saying. You know, like let me end here. Let me end by saying this. نحن ما رفعنا السلاح لما كنا في 83 لما رفعنا السلاح ما رفعنا عشان دكتور جون جرام. No, احنا عندنا قضية وبرضه لما الناس حققوا انفصال ما حققنا عشان سلفكير. نحن ما عندنا حاجات مطالبات دايرين كشعب. نحن دايرين ناكل كويس، دايرين ناس لازم يكون عندنا امن واستقرار، وعيالنا يمشي مدارس، عيال بتاعنا يمشي مدارس. شفتها؟ دي الحاجات اساس بربطنا كلنا كقبائل بتاع جنوب السودان بغض النظر منيا ورئيس. شفتها؟ فمجاك I really thank you for this narration, but let us aim on this because unity بتاع قبائل الجنوب هي أهم من example اللي قاعد نقول. كان هنا عملنا وحدة، هنا بنعرف منيا ورئيس كويس منيا ما رئيس كويس. أنا بأند من هنا و thank you very much. Yeah.
Ustaz Madi, he raised his hand. I think he want to answer you, and I will follow him.
شكرا. انا بس ما اقدر ارجع لكلام اخوي جبريل، كلامك سليم، ومش ان احنا جهلنا الكلام بتاع القبليه وليدرشيب وحاجات دي. مواضيع اللي ناقشناها كله في الحلقات اللي فاتت، يعني بعد ما ناقشنا الموضوع بتاع القبليه وناقشنا موضوع بتاع التنميه غير متوازنه، ناقشنا موضوع بتاع عدم توزيع بتاع الثروه بطريقه عادله في جنوب السودان، مشاكل بتاع الامن في جنوب السودان، مشاكل بتاع عدم وجود خدمات في جنوب السودان، فشل الرؤيه بتاع القيادات الحركه الشعبيه، فشل تبعات السياسيين، فشل تبعات ده كله ناقشناه في اكثر من حلقه. وبعد ذلك جبنا بعد ما ناقشنا اشياء دي قلنا يا جماعه اوكي، طيب الدول الثانيين دي نجحوا كيف؟ وكيف الدول دي بتجاربهم؟ الان هنا قاعدين نتكلم عن تجارب بتاع الدول دي، كيف الدول دي حاولوا يطلعوا من مشاكلهم، لكن مش هنا تجاوزنا الكلام ده. مشاكل القبليه دي من اكبر مشاكل بواجهنا في جنوب السودان، وده له حلقه كامل. مشاكل الاقتصاد ده من اكبر مشاكل التنميه في جنوب السودان، مشاكل البيئه، منطقه جاي فيها مشاكل البترول البيئه لغايه الان، منطقه البلوج وهتادي مضرر بالبيئه بتاع البترول، لانه وسائل بتاع البترول ده كله قاعد يخش في مويه وفي محلات، في مشاكل دي كلها مشاكلنا موجوده. لكن احنا موضوع بتاع الحلقه ده عايزين نحن نخاطب عقول بتاع الناس. هل ممكن نحن كشعب بتاع الجنوب نبني اوطاننا لو نحن تجاوزنا مشاكلنا، مثلا مشاكل قبليه او غيره، لو بقى في استقرار حقيقي، هل ممكن نحن نطور اوطاننا لغايه الدرجه بتاع الدول ده ولا لا؟ ده الموضوع. لكن مش نحن مش عايزين يعني نتجاهلنا موضوع قاعد نتكلم فيه، ده مواضيع اساسيه. شكرا.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
you. Bye now.
Is about to tell my brother. So what I will do now, I will just allow Don Lorgen. He came in. He hasn't spoken word yet, and yeah, there he is. All right, Dr. Don Lorgen, the floor will be yours, and I think you have understand what Ustaz Mading has answered Jibril Kwano. So what we are here, South Sudanese, they have tried different things. We went to the war with violence on criticism and selling out, and nothing will help us out. So now we have another strategy. Let's come together as South Sudanese.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you. I wanted to greet those who are here with you on the panel, and those who are listening from the online. My name is Dolarjin, the leader of the UPA, that's Union Party of South Sudan. You know, I was actually like kind of surprised for people who are even learned intellectually that they are misinterpreting how the country look like or comparing wrongly. So you can, you know, we cannot compare it to our nation actually. Okay, because you know Qatar, they don't have war first of all, and the way the economy work there is totally different. If you are a scholar and you want to learn more about countries that can be really similar to our situation, at least you can mention country like maybe Cambodia. That will be like they have UN, they have several agreements, they have faction, they have rebel people. A country like Liberia could be.
Can I say this to you?
Hold on.
No, I want to say, I just want to say one word. You came late. This show is now 1 month. It's a fortnightly series. It's something going on. We have started even Rwanda. In Africa, you know what has happened in Rwanda. We talk about it and we are moving. You just came in the between. That's why you have reached that level. Otherwise, if you have started with us, that's what
Okay. Yeah, I think I attended one of your show here, just one on when you are talking about this journey to freedom. But what I'm saying here, you know, if we wanted to discuss a way coming together as South Sudanese, you know, and I have been saying this for so many years, it's not going to be just calling people. We have to have a design way, a policy, a design framework that will make it for people to come together. And that one is not going to be brought to you by expert from Kenya or from Sudan, or you go to from Rome. They're not going to give you anything to unite the people of South Sudan. And I have to tell you here, okay? The only thing that we can unite us is inside the Bible, because even peace belong to God. And actually, those pope that you go to, they are wrong for them not to point it to you the reality. They should point at this leader that the peace you are looking for is actually in the Bible. And that is what it has been declared. If you read your Bible, you will find peace belong to God. And God claimed peace to be his own. It's not owned by people. If you don't recognize that, you will always be in war. And war and war and war from war. So you will not have peace, and then there will be no development. The reason we don't have development is not because we are poor. It's not because we don't have oil. It's not because we are not learned. It's because there is war in the country. You don't understand that? The war, you cannot develop anything when there is war. Because look at Malakal. You have been in. I've been in Malakal. I've been in Bentiu. If you look at them, it's only Juba is lucky because the war did not reach there during when Gadet was struggling to enter Juba. It was really very difficult. So let's say, example, if Gadet could have captured Juba the way it was pronounced, then right now it will be something else. Even if he withdraw, if he stay there for a week or 2 weeks, it could be something else. But the other country now, Apanal, is destroyed completely because of war, not because we are poor. So what we are saying here is this: if a country is destroyed by a war, okay, the only strategy to move forward is to identify the cause of that war. And then that is what we call a root cause of the war. That is how we address problem. And that's why I mentioned to you some country that has a similar scenario, and they identify the problem. A country like Liberia will be a better country to compare it to South Sudanese or South Sudanese problem. A country like Cambodian will be actually similar because they have so many factions and they have UN. UN was taken there, and there's almost likely. So those are the countries you look at. Like Rwanda is good. You mentioned Rwanda. You can also mention the tribalism in Bosnia and Yugoslavia. Those are the countries that has been fighting based on tribal war. That is what you look at. You don't look at things that are not relevant to your situation. Okay, so that is what we are, and the way we address the peace problem is not the way how our country is addressing it. The way the situation is addressed in our country to end the war is addressed in a way that is more likely 90% that is going to repeat itself again. Okay, because when you leave out the root cause, then you cannot address everything that you address. It's not going to answer to have a holistic answer to the problem. So when we wanted to address the problem, we will address the root cause of the war. We identified it. Those people who fail, if the leaders fail to identify it, then there is scholars, people who call themselves, because right now there are a lot of people with PhDs. What are they doing? They don't do research for problem. I already produced almost 72 pages for the solution of South Sudan. I say the South Sudan problem is tribalism. Now, what we need to do to address tribalism, we need what we call integration of the fighting tribe. I say that almost 3 years ago, 7 years ago, I mean. Okay. Now, when the government is going there, they don't ask anything about what has been done, about intellectually what is been done by South Sudanese. They just going, they want only something from Rome, something from Kenya, something from Uganda. And that is war. They just buying war. So they get that paper and then it turned out to be a war. Like right now, do you know the negotiation in Juba now is getting worse? I just read certain news media just this morning that is getting worse, that are maybe opposition leaders are being killed, targeting, and a lot of news similar like what happened in the starting of the war of 2016. And again, you know, our problem here, we don't, let me tell you one thing here. Our problem is actually, if you look at it, is like we have a generational curse. And, you know, when you have a generational curse, then you will have a tribal problem in a country. So you will hate each other. And to address this is still, you have to go to the Bible. Not those pastors that put something on their neck. They don't read the Bible. You see, so they don't have knowledge. They just are pastors because the South Sudan has been a war and there's no. So people really need to sit down and read the solution to our problem from the Bible perspective. And in that way, we will get the solution, because the Bible will tell you there is no problem that you can solve without addressing the root cause. And if you run away from the root cause and say, oh, tribalism, if we say it's tribalism, then and Nuer are fighting, we will fight again by just saying, no, who say that? We wanted to solve the problem. We want to be honest. And that is what even God wants. We have to be honest. That is how Rwanda problem was solved. That is how Liberian problem was solved. That's how Cambodian. Yes?
You are very contradicting now, Don Lorgen, and I need to cut you because you just now, you need to let us lose in what you are doing. We are losing your track. And to be honest with you, you as a leader of the party, which is a UPDF party, you looking to be a president of the nation, I would like to say that you have to prepare, you have a strategy that you can win the hearts of the old citizen of South Sudan.
Yes.
Not that you are talking. That's what I need to tell you. Why you put these things up, you should be politically know exactly what we are doing. Violence done nothing for us. Criticism, negative criticism done nothing for us. Tribalism has done nothing for the South Sudanese. So what we are doing now, we need to come back together. How can we come back? We intellectual, we come and form ourselves such that we can bring all the nation, and that's the reason we compare these countries. They have gone through worse than South Sudan. There are other countries who have gone through worse than South Sudan. So you don't come to criticize the movement or the strategies or what we are doing here. You don't know the plan. You don't know what we're doing. So I will leave it the rest of it.
Just to just conclude, so that I can give the chance to the others. What we are, if we wanted to come together or maybe have a discussion to come together as intellectual or as South Sudanese who have seen the problem, then there is, I have seven strategies, only 7 of them, that can bring people as a leader of the Union Party. There's 7 of them. The first one is to address the root cause of the war, because we are broken by the tribal war. That is the first thing we have to do. Then the second one will be is to kind of admit that the problem that occur has affected almost the people that were affected, and recognize whoever, whether they are in the village, in Denga village, in the Nuer village, in any corner of South Sudan, if they are not in Juba, they have to be recognized that if they got hurt, maybe somebody got broken their leg, or maybe they were actually hit, or maybe they died. That is what has to be recognized by intellectuals and has to be documented. And that one will lead us to to what we call resolution. Okay? A resolution in which we have to bring those people to a kind of reconciliation, in which they will feel like, oh, my problem is recognized. Then now I have to talk with my brothers, even if they kill you, you talk to them. And then we move to what we call we have to avoid the problem from repeating itself, because many people, when we go to Juba, they will have the problem repeat itself. There is a policy I put down for the problem never to repeat itself again. Okay, that is a strategy number 3. And then the other one is to make sure that there is a kind of a change in which we can, I call it, to alter the behavior of the people. The problem comes from the behavior, not necessarily from the action itself. Is when people behave in certain way, that is when we have a problem. And especially, like, for example, most of the South Sudanese turn to move away from God, and that can be a problem. You see, like leaving your culture. Let's say maybe like in the Nuer, is they don't believe in something in culturally before the SPLA. They don't believe, and applicable to the Denka people. They believe that if you kill a person, you need to go to somebody quickly before you, because you're going to die either from Nuer or from something called Shin. This is a typically something close to God. But now when the SPLA come, they have gun. They believe in gun. They believe in power of their manpower. They don't want that culture. That culture was destroyed by John Garang, because John Garang.
We
I
need to
need
give you a platform one day.
No, Agar, I need to listen from him. He's seven. The thing that he's counting, he has to go and count them all. Then we will respond.
No,
from
the show is shifting, Isaac. The show is shifting from the way it is to another way, to another place right now. That's why I need to tell my brother, Dr. John Dolorjin, you organize your resolution, and then let us know, and we will give you a day within Lagos State Media platform to come and give them to us, but not today. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Well, I have, if we have to come together, I have 7 strategies that actually are meant for people to come together. But if they are really, if we really mean it, what we mean. But if we don't mean it, we just wanted to play with what they call politics or run to different country for solution.
Okay.
That one is never going to help you.
Can you go to number 5 and 6 and 7? You left with the 3.
Yeah, actually, they all, these 7 strategies, they all start with A, and it's very simple for people to just write them down as a list, and then I can explain them when on next show. So I say the first one is to address.
What I'm waiting to, anyway, Dr. Don Lorgen, you are just derailing the show, and that thing, you are one of the intellectual. We are PhD, we respect you, and I always do tell you that please, if you get the show or anything that you enter in, don't come and try to move or to derail, to come and divert what those people that are walking the right side, you say that let's go to my left side. Because your proposal, I know all the things. I was waiting for one thing. You have called for the assassination in your the reports and what you have been reading to the leaders. Whether it's still there, but that is what we are working in here. We have a different strategies, and that we went to make some analysis first to find out.
You think that you think the 7 strategies, there is a strategy that I say.
You know, can I get a chance, please? Just give me
Hold
1
on.
minute.
Let me wrap my thing. Just one minute, yes.
Can you give me 1 minute, please, General Largen? I need to summarize what I want to have. It's not going to be too long. I have somewhere that I'm going to. Brother Isaac, if I can get 1 minute to add, based on the topic I have seen, I think you talk about freedoms and a nation building. That's a topic that we are discussing.
Yes.
So, which means we are talking about peace, how we can come together as South Sudanese to build our peaceful South Sudan. Yes. First of all, I want to thank Lagos State Media for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to many brothers that are in the Lagos State Media show tonight. We as a diaspora, majority of us that are here, we're in SPLA, Lost Boy, and I know, many of you. We are the future leader of South Sudan. Our contribution, the word that we say, the telephone call that we call our people back home, if we are conveying the word of unity, it can also make a difference. There will be no peace in South Sudan and unity without us. And let unity start among us, something that I have been calling for, that we as a diaspora, we need to come together. And I've said it many times, a mistake, I will not be blamed for the mistake of Riek Machar. Brother Isaac, I cannot blame you if President Kiir have done something wrong. Let us judge people individually. South Sudan needs all of us, and we need to come together. You cannot build a country where it's politics. Where it's politics based on the tribe, you will never succeed. Obama had said it when he went and visited his father country in Kenya. Mistake that we made as a diaspora. Divided ourselves. This thing for IG and this thing for this group for IO. for me, my position in South Sudan politics has been clear. Made it from day one that I'm not a government supporter, nor an Iowa supporter. How do we bring people of South Sudan together? I have said it, Nuer and Dinka are the same tribe. I've seen them as one Gabila. So they have never been divided like the way they are now. And we know who's preaching the tribal politics. We as a diaspora, we are educated, we have education, and we live in the Western world. And we see exactly what makes the Western world a better place is unity. This is something that we need to start from Lake State media here. Let's convey the message of unity to our people. Let's embrace ourselves that we are one people, live in the same country. We convey that the same message to our people back home. We will build a peaceful, prosperous South Sudan. And I want to thank you, Lake State Media, for your message that you have been given. I think it was last week you guys had Fix It Lake State. That is very good. If you fix Lake State, that's, one step. If Lake State becomes peaceful, that message also can be covered by the different states. So we, as the people of Jonglei, I'm from Jonglei, we have worked to make sure that the largest two communities, Jiangs and Nuer, are living side by side peacefully. I would say, I'm one of the leaders in that state that work very hard to make sure that Dinka and Nuer are living side by side peacefully. Some people, they might think that, because of the way that Mama Rebecca and the rest decide with their political viewpoint. But it has nothing. The two communities had already developed a good relation before the incident of 2013. I want to thank you for preaching that. This is something that we need to discuss. So it is worth discussing. There will be no peace in South Sudan without us. It is our responsibility. It is our duty to send that message back to our people. Some of the things that I think we need to do, if we come together as South Sudanese, we can change A1. We can change Juba. We can even send a message to President Kiir. This is what diaspora demand. If we are divided, then nothing can change. We want to be a part of that government system. In order to be able to change, you cannot change from the outside. You can change from inside when you are part of something. So I want to thank all of you that have been working, mostly the leader of Lake State that suggested fix it Lake State. If you fix the Lake State is one of the puzzle of South Sudan of 10 states. You pick that one, and then you have 9. You can move from each state until South Sudan become peaceful. I really appreciate that. Let's come to the strategy. What can we do to bring peace to South Sudan? This is something very important. What we can do as a diaspora. Let's say if we come together, not saying that this group belongs to Iowa or belong to the opposition. We are citizens of South Sudan. Let's direct our message to the president. We can even have, teams of people that are organized to convey the message of diaspora and say, we don't want the way the things are being done in South Sudan. These things is completely wrong. We want to get it fixed. Let's say, I'd like to suggest something. I think if you go back to 2005, when John Garang appointed first governor, he sent Riek Machar somewhere in Equatoria. And then, why don't we try something similar to this? Let President Kiir appoint 10 governors, and let's say if you are on Lake State, you will go to Afanal. Bring this guy from Afanal and send him to Lake State. And let's see how the result works. Also, if you are a commander from Lake State, you need to go to the different region. And let's bring somebody from there. Let's have the peaceful disarmament. If you have people that are not educated carry a gun, we need to encourage disarmament. Let the government conduct disarmament peacefully. You see, those are some of the things that I think is strategy that can bring peace. So let's say if you're from Lake State, let's just give an example. Iran Agar, and you are now appointed as the commissioner of Lake State. You might, your people might, you might be favored to your people from Agar. You see? So if you are sent to Afanal to Milakal, You're just going to do work there because you don't have any relative. So bring Munchuluginak from Milakal and make him a Mafas of Agar. If we do that way, we would be able to find a solution to South Sudan problem. So we have some wonderful ideas that we can put together and send it directly to our leader in Juba and say, this is what we think this can come.
We are in now, Peter. That's the meaning of the word journey. We should just start it from the first word. This is the journey we are in now. And we don't need to look back. We don't need to try other things that have been tried and they went wrong. So we are trying to bring people together and to follow that statement. This is the steps that we need to do.
I think, brother, I support that idea, and you will have a lot of South Sudanese that supporting that idea. You see, that's the only thing that you can bring peace back to South Sudan. So let's also have a committee. Let's try to. I'm going to give you, Brother Benjamin. I'm going to give you a Benjamin Bilwal or a Bill Tan.
Yes.
Yeah. Bilwal. Okay. All right. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, I will see you.
I think one of the things that we also need to discuss, not just only talking on social media, we need to have a team, Brother Isaac, a team that can call directly to President Kiir, a team that can call to the Minister of Presidential Affairs, Dr. Barnabas, we also to Keo, those that are on president, and say, this is what we see, we as a diaspora. This is what we see would be a solution to South Sudan problem. I'm very supportive of that idea that comes from legislative media, and I'm with you. I think that is the right time where we can fix South Sudan problem.
Thank you so much, Peter. Believe I appreciate.
Peter was taking my time, and I just have 1 minute to.
Yeah, it was just in the beginning. You have already drawn last. We will not give you the chance now. Just leave the first. Other people talk. I will come back to you, please. Because you really took us back. The things that we have discussed and the things which is not supposed to be discussed here. We have different agendas. We have different shows. If you are really a follower of Lagos State Media Show, you should be knowing different times and different days. We have different shows. We have religious shows. We have Fixing Lagos State show. We have tribalism elimination show, and we have this one. And to come back to you, brother Peter. This yes.
Just give them a minute because everybody want to talk. So give them a couple of minutes. Yeah, each one. Yeah.
We are running out. This show is scheduled to be only 2 hours. Every fortnight, 2 hours, we will come and discuss these national issues. I don't know.
Isaac, let me in America or in Australia,
I'm in Australia.
Okay. I think my suggestion, we need to have the team that can even plan things outside this. I think this is a wonderful plan, and I really support it. That can also get together on telephone conference or on Zoom, discuss the detail how we can move this thing forward in detail. So I know there's some, legacy media that live in the United States. This is something very important. South Sudan will not be peaceful without us involved into this thing. So,
with that, calling me that name.
I think Sagar.
You have been discussed. Now we move away from that agenda and we are. Let us come back. Just give me a chance. I go in it and let all those here. They will bring it in different day. Let me just talk.
Before I bring you in, David, I want to give it to Arnold. These are there are the people who designed this show. Who came up. We made analysis. We sat down and. We don't need to go outside far away from what we have agreed. Before that, I will come back to you, David. Arnold should come first before you to address because the other people who came late.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much for giving the chance again. I just want to elaborate one thing here. When we start this show, we really went to a lot of options. For example, tomorrow, like our brother Peter, Blue, and Professor. So the show you guys talking today is for tomorrow. So we already designed those shows. So like tribalism and all this kind of thing, the show will be tomorrow. So we really appreciate Peter, Bilu. If you really kindly tomorrow you can come in with those ideas, and then we can get the show done. Like brother Lord, nice to see you again. I saw last time you left us so angry, but it's good right now to see you again. We will welcome you again back. Our idea is appreciated highly. So tomorrow, or maybe the Lagos State Media will design a day for you, so that you can represent yourself and your idea to the people you love. So now, actually, our program is almost finished, but diverted from what we mean for what we're doing this show. So I really want to tell you guys, even the Peter, what you say, we really have a program is going on. So maybe in the near future, we will have a form so that every diaspora people will fill the form with a qualification. And then by that time, we will become one with the whole idea, and then we can face South Sudan government. Those things are coming, and then maybe you can listen more from Pastor John. So he's the one who designed that too, to bring all our diaspora people with all qualification, with all idea together, and then we can move on to change that country. We know, guys, this country really, really needs us. You know, if we divide ourselves to all these parties like opposition and government and all this kind of thing, we will nothing to be achieved. As I said, we South Sudanese, we have a freedom politically, but we don't have a freedom for our economy. That's why our country is really need to be liberated from the economic point of view. And how we can do that if we didn't come together with all ideas. So this is a big show. It's a great. And then I don't want to take more time. Maybe a lot of people have a chance to say, but be patient. Tomorrow, Dr. Lord Young and my brother Peter Bilu will welcome tomorrow for the show. That's concerned liable, what they call tribalism in South Sudan. And we have some clip we will show tomorrow for the lot of people. We have some Shabab down there in South Sudan. They are working so hard to bring us together. Thank you so much. And then I have my time, and then I'll go back to studio.
All right.
To you, Isaac.
Now I will give it back to David Koikedia, Pondak. Cut you before because these things we were moved forward and away from the truck. Good, thank you, Arnold, for putting us back to what we are here. We'll give it back to David, and each and everyone will be having 2 minutes for rehearsal because this is a continuation show. Every fortnight, every 2 weeks, we will be coming here. We will discuss these issues of political thing that can bring a turn around the situation, the current situation of the country. And we can reflect and we compare ourselves with other countries who has gone through the other situation or worse than South Sudan. Now we'll come back to all of you 2 minutes for the closure. It's meant to be only 2 hours, but now we all has already jumped to 2 hours and a half because another agenda has been added in, which is not was included before when we started. David, further.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. In fact, I appreciate all what you people are to bring us back to the topic. By Hill, why our people are suffering. I don't know when are we going to close. But let me say this about Qatar, which was the topic, a comparative analysis of our today. In 1990s, I was in Zimbabwe. This is a country known as Qatar, because there was one guy from South Sudan who came from there, and he visited us in Zimbabwe. That guy was a cook in Qatar. And for us who came from liberated areas, we know only the cook is a woman. But we came to realize that a cook has a lot of money where he build his own, business and everything. I came to realize that that country is very rich, and if somebody who is cooking is getting thousands of dollars, then we can build our country to be like Qatar. It is a good case study. It is good, like compare. It is the same like Singapore or other countries whom we discussed before in this forum. This topic or program is really good. It opened people's mind. People mind, the leadership back home are right. There's everything is down in South Sudan, whether the idea or anything you put physically, and we need them all. I really appreciate that we are discussing every day and time, not as opposition, but we discuss as South Sudanese. Have your party, have you here? And let me say this. I wish that I'm saying that minute. Education is the thing that our countries need a lot, because we have been missing that opportunity for a long time. Few who were educated have been struggling. I do believe those who educated themselves, they should not reflect into this history that we have had in somewhere in North Africa, where a donkey was taken to school to study from primary up to university. And when the donkey was graduated, someone asked donkey, what have you got? He said, I'm graduated today. I have a PhD. So, oh, that's good. What do you know now? The donkey said that he know A and D. And he was asked, what is A? He said, A is A for a donkey. And then what is B? What is D? And the D is for a donkey. Then the donkey was told that, donkey, you have not educated. You are not educated yet. You better go back to school. We know what the PhD has done to our country, seen at the very beginning of the moment. We don't need to bring in these PhD who are not going to benefit South Sudanese. We must come together, put aside what we learn, or put it practically, rather than coming and tell people something called education, which they did not benefit during the war even. We benefit, of course, but we need more. We need more, and we don't need to bring this donkey education to the South Sudan. This is not what we need now. We need something good. We need good language. We don't need language of war. We don't need language where we divide people on tribal. What did we commit? More than 2 people fought. I'm telling my people and those who are watching me online that this is the time we should go back, think, define ourselves. Who are we? If we are South Sudanese, then we need a peaceful South Sudan, rather a country that we call for war. We will get nothing. This is the way forward, where we will develop our country to be like Qatar, like Singapore, like Rwanda. We already missed the level of Rwanda. 1994, we passed it already. We will not go there anymore. South Sudan will not go back to war. We are moving forward. We are a nation who love peace. And we have everything at our disposal to make it reality. We have people like this PhD who are everywhere. They will come home. Those experts. Now, I'm not disappointed, but I'm sending a message to those who were big mouth somewhere there. Like last week, few of my friends were talking on their own way, talking about education. Do education everywhere? This is home. We have all our position at home. Is it the government the only thing? I tell him in Qatar, he was not a minister of petroleum. He was there as as somebody working in a petroleum company, and he contributed a lot to the Qatar government. Why don't we do the same? I am appealing to each and everybody, whether educated or not educated, bring what you know, and then we'll move on as South Sudanese. Blaming game will not take us nowhere. If we say you are that, my tribe or your tribe will not move away. It's better that we accept oneself, we accept ourselves as South Sudanese, and we move on together, and we reject violence, and we say united South Sudan is the best way forward to develop our nation. Thank you, Tiem, and I'm available. I will be there if there is anything to be discussed in the next time or tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, David. Yeah, we will be having the show tomorrow. We want to talk about tribalism. So thank you for your words. I'm still running out of time. We'll be going to Majak Machar, and then from Majak we'll go to Peter Biliu. From Peter Biliu we'll go to Dolorgen, and then Ustaz Mading Wade, Arnold Buna, and then my co-host Agar, and then we close the show. So my brother Majak further.
Thank you very much. You guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Second time, a citizen of South Sudan, you have the hand of the mess up of South Sudan. We have the hand on it. We are a citizen of South Sudan. What I'm gonna say is stop killing each other. Stop hating each other, and let go together. لازم نحن نكون سوا ونعمل unite. We can fix it. This one it's very easy. Denka bara ma bek deramul fix. Nuer bara ma bek deramul fix. Shuluk bara ma bek deramul kalamda. Balanda wala Zandi wala Tuka wala Munu ma bek deramul fix. We need to come together. Lana hukuma al-guide fog da amalena fitna بيناتنا ونحن ما شكلنا مع بعض قبل كده. We are never see each other even we are Denka or Nuer they don't see each other before. Even Denka they never see each other before. Even Great and Victoria they never see each other before. But right now we hate each other. Stop that. Don't blame somebody you don't know it. You don't never see him. ده كلام أنا بقول للمواطن بتاع جنوب السودان يدينا في مشاكل بتاع جنوب السودان يدان نحن citizen of South Sudanese we have a hand on it. We need to stop that. Stop talking about nonsense. That's what I want to deliver to South Sudanese people. And نحن South Sudanese people we are all suffering. Every corner in South Sudan we are suffering. Everybody know. ما في أمارات في ليك ستيت، ما في أمارات في بنتو، ما في أمارات في كايا، ما في أمارات في شولي اريا، ما في أمارات في أي مكان. Only Juba because تماسيح كبار ديل قاعدين هناك. That's why you guys see أمارات هناك وقاعدين فيو ونايمين فيو. All this sense we talk about is about security in South Sudan. We need just security. We can go together and we need to bring security in South Sudan. So as a Juba is full of anybody, any village in corner of South Sudan is full. We need to get out from there. If we have security, tomorrow you're not going to see Juba is full of South Sudanese people. Everybody going to go back to his village. All the village of 64 tribe in South Sudan is blessed from God. is very blessed. أي كورنر إنت قاعد تمشي فيه في جنوب السودان is blessed. تمشي تقعد هناك وتزرع ولا تعمل إياها بس أنا داير من الحكومة بتاع جنوب السودان security. I want to tell something to my brother Darlar Jang and Darlar Jang and with your party. Last time you make mistake, you talk to Bashir nonsense. Everybody recorded and everybody know it. You want to come to politics, bring up and bring the plan to South Sudanese people. We're going to accept you. The one mistake is doesn't matter. We can forget it. Go ahead, bring your plan. South Sudanese can be succeed and make peace to South Sudanese. Get out and make everything good. Peter, you another Peter, brother Peter, you always talk. I've been following you for a long time. You always talk good. If you give up, if you right now you stand with Salva Kiir or Riek Machar, I'm going to slug you because I know the way you're talking. I'm going to slug you. I don't care. You from the corner of South Sudan, but Darlar Jang, fix yourself. We need South Sudan to fix, to make something to unite citizens of South Sudan. That's what we need. We don't need to fight. We need security, just security. Bring your plan for security first in South Sudan, the citizen to be secure. That's what we calling about, that's what we crying about it, that's what we talking about, that's what we dream for it. Salva Kiir cannot do it, Riek Machar cannot do it, Waniga cannot do it, Elia cannot do it, nobody can do it. We need security. Shukran jaziran, and thank you very much, and give other chance.
All right, thank you. I thank you so much. We'll go straight to Peter.
Well, thank you, Brother Haidek, for giving me a chance again. When I jump into the topic, I did not even have the topic of today. I just, I read when it say freedom and nation building. And that's why I think what I had in my mind, how do you build a nation? First, you need to have peace. When you have peace, that's where you will have a chance to build the nation. Brother Ida, can you brief me what is because I didn't see I didn't see just only the one that come through line. What is the topic today? Because I don't want to just branch out of topic. What is the real topic that you're talking about today?
All right. The real topic of today is a continuation of how the country who went through hardship or through wars or has atrocities can turn around and to come again to stand up and to become one of the best in the nation or among the world. So that's why we have started with the Rwanda. We talk about Rwanda issue. And also last fortnight, we were talking about Singapore, half of it. And now we completed the half of it and we moved to compare ourselves with Qatar. Because if we have resources and we are fighting on it, how about these countries who don't have maybe resources and they are now one of the best? They settled their issues. How did they settle their issues? How did they make it?
I think I got the point. Thanks to you for clarifying that. Yeah. I have not been on social media for a while. Not been, even follow Lagos State media. It's one of my favorite social media because of the topic that you guys bring. Rwanda is our neighboring country. Is a good example that we can talk about. We know the magnitude and deaths of the people that die as a result of 1994, when people of Rwanda killed each other. If they move on and they build peaceful Rwanda, why don't can we do the same thing that people of Rwanda did? As you said, you had talked about it. That is an example that we can use. If people of Rwanda able to come together and build a peaceful Rwanda, which is now today, why don't we, as people of South Sudan, come together and build?
Exactly.
All of us that are on this show tonight, we know when all these things started. I had said in one of the shows that I spoke to, and I said, we had found the medicine of coronavirus 91, coronavirus 2013, and that virus will not kill anybody again. I've said it publicly. We know we're starting all this mess.
Yeah. That is why we are here now.
Yes. It has been identified, and I don't think that person will not kill anybody again. It is a time for us to move. And whatever happened, it's happened. Let God be judge to those who killed their own relative. It is our responsibility, those of us who live in the West, as I've said it earlier, to convey a positive message of unity back to our constituencies. I'm from Law area. When I talk to my own constituent, the only message that I convey to them that Dinka are our relative, that are not our enemy. Arnold, he's the son of Bilwal. Bilwal Nyang is from my area. You know, went to Rumbek, went to school there, grew up there, and married there. His children, you know, were born there. So in our community as a law, we have a lot of Dinka that migrate as now members of our community. So for whatever reason, somebody came from nowhere. A community had never had a leader, was able to rise to the top. And the only message that he has influenced and educated group of people was we have this group of B, they are our enemy. And we have to deal with them and get rid of them. That message is not working now. Even those who were not educated, they start to learn, they realize this particular individual is for his own benefit. It is a time to use this momentum to reach out to our constituents and convey the message of unity and peace. You know, in the continent of Africa, even in Europe, if you read Western civilizations, you would find that even in the United States, I live in America, people fought. They fought each other, those who were favoring confederation and those who were favoring union. Then after they found, you know, they realized the war is not going to help them. They came and embraced and formed United States of America. That's just why many of our South Sudanese are living in the United States. Mistake is mistake. If it is identified and is correct, people can move on and rebuild things again. I think the time for unity of people of South Sudan is now.
Yes.
And we as a diaspora, we are a part of nation building, a peaceful South Sudan. First, you need to have peace. You need to have a responsible government who will make sure that we'll carry out some of the things that we will discuss in detail. And I want to thank people of Lake State. In Rumbek town, this is where majority of our educated people, Rumbek High School, majority of our South Sudanese intellectual graduate from there. It is, if I were in the leadership of SPLM or Dr. John Garang still alive, Rumbek would have been our interim capital. So for whatever reason, after the death of John Garang, things changed. I think you guys are doing excellent job. The unity of the people of South Sudan will come from Lake State. I like sometimes to play the song and say, upon Lake State, upon America, because the city of Lake State, we have people, we have Bilwal family there that are Nuer. They found the place, they settled there, and they live there. So it is a place where a lot of people, you know, move there and are welcome. You guys have shown that people of Lake State are good, and I want to thank you for all the good things that people of Lake State are, things that you guys have been doing. And I really appreciate it. And I'm with you in that journey. We will achieve these things, because what we are doing, we are not against anybody. We are calling for coexistence to our tribe. Let's live together as citizens of South Sudan. Let's move on. Azol al-Mada, Markalas. Mabana Jibutani. At least a Mada, let's prevent that person from dying again. That we build a peaceful South Sudan where all of us can live side by side as brothers and sisters. So, Nana Nasal got into the Western world. Masa Loida Jana, Ujana Biga Tamatashir Sana. Wahamur Galat, you will not be judged of your son's crime. That he will face his justice. Why don't we do it that way? So, Nana, as Genovine, it is time for unity. We still have a lot of things to do. We still have a big issue. We still have fun. So we still have all this border demarcation, and we cannot achieve those things unless we come together and embrace our unity. In the reality, South Sudan problem is completely different than the rest. I disagree. I don't think what we have in South Sudan is not tribalism. We have an issue of leadership, where some people right into leadership want to grab it, where certain intellectuals in the leadership hierarchy of the SPLA believe that if they are not there in Tulsa, they have to create some sort of instability, creating chaos, so that they will go back or restate back to the opposition. That's the problem that we have. And we have the president who is very weak, you see, who is not really serious. That's why we are in chaos. It's not tribalism. You can see from the military. Those who were running the government, mostly Johnson going, all of you know, from my area, from our corps, and a lot of generals that we have in South Sudan. But South Sudan have not yet reached the tribalism issue. It is the two individuals that have divided people of South Sudan. It is the case that can be fixed, and we can move on to build a peaceful South Sudan where all of us can live side by side. We need also to be a part of decision making. We need to have this strategy. People that can get on the phone and get on the phone conference and say, we need to suggest things directly to the president himself. You see, and say, President, this ball is on your hand. This thing we need to change. Let me stop here and give chance to the right.
All right.
Tomorrow I will
you join
make
us.
sure that I have time. I'll be in a show tomorrow. Just tell me what time it's going to be tomorrow. I'll make
that's
sure
the
that.
time we have opened before. That's the time.
What time? What time is it? Is going to be?
In Australia, here in Australian Eastern Standard Time is 11:30.
Okay,
And
11:30 p.m. or 11:30 a.m.
a.m. and will
Okay.
be 7 p.m. in Virginia, in Canada.
Or 7 p.m. in Canada. Okay.
7:30, yeah, in Canada.
Okay, 7:30 is going to be 6 p.m. in my time.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be there tomorrow. So
All right, then.
I'm
Let
done,
me-
brother. I think let me hear.
Let me go to our brother Dolorgen, and then because it's a long day for me. Since 3 a.m. in the morning up to now, I've been in the studio here. Dolorgen, you have.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Isaac. You know,
We brought
I just
we brought you on the track because we cannot blame you much. If you haven't get the topic, you may be right to talk according to what you have. But now you know what we are here, and you heard also you have learned from the speakers. So go ahead.
Yeah. Quickly, you know, I actually understand what the context of this topic is, and when it was started. So basically, you know, what we need is coming together, is peace in our country. If we want to look like Qatar, we want to look like America, we want to look like any peaceful country, it's possible in the country, but it needs people with the skill. It will never come by itself. It needs people that have a strategy, that has ideas that need to be implemented from the South Sudanese itself. If this forum is intellectually working very hard and putting ideas together, then it will work. But it will go to the line, what are these ideas that you want to bring in? It will not just like, oh, let's just brainstorm. Each and everyone has to work and bring something on the table. And that's why I was telling you, I went to Iowa State, the university where John Graham went actually. I studied at Iowa State. I did a lot of research on our problem. And that's why sometimes I claim like I know much about our problem, more than any other person. I even improve. I disapprove the formula that was driven by international community. It's not a solution. It's called power sharing. So it's only pleasing the leadership, those leaders. Every time they give you that solution, it's only solving the problem of our leaders, not the people. And that is a problem for me. So, basically, if we want to come together and address our problem, we are not the only country that has been affected by tribalism in Africa or in the world. I have studied more than 10 countries that have gone out from tribal problem. And we have Liberia is one of them. They have UN, they have sanction, they have peace agreement, they have comprehensive peace agreement. We have Cambodia, they have UN, have sanction, have faction. We have Bosnian, we have Kosovo, a lot of country, and the Rwanda neighboring country. So we have a lot of countries that have gone out, similar problem. And they also have sanction, like they have faction, they have peace agreement, CPA, and they have a lot of issues similar, but they got out, they are good. The reason they got out, there is a secret that I want to tell our people, that our people don't understand it. This country, the reason they gone out of their problem, one of the reasons is that the number one problem is to address the root cause of the problem. Genuine, not just, oh, we're talking of the war, and the Holarjin is trying to bring the war to people. The war is already there. It's not me. There is war in our country. It's not me to the war, to bring war, so that I talk about the war and then the war happened, that will be me. But the war is already going on, has already started. We just need to solve it. So addressing the root cause is number one problem. Now, our problem is not addressed, because every time they address it, talk about political power sharing. That is not the problem. The problem is tribal problem, need to be addressed. That is number one. I wanted to put that one as a strategy to bring people together. Number two is to avoid the problem to repeat itself again. There is a strategy to put in place for it not to repeat itself. And there are policy. I wrote it like a booklet. The other thing is admit the wrong thing. If it is me, I want to come up and say, okay, I admit one of the persons say like this. He say, oh, the Holarjin was talking about something about assassination of leaders, and you did that. We forgive you because the one thing. Those are the things you have to identify. What did you do? Admit it. You are a leader. You are not a leader. You are a civilian. You are what? You have to admit. That is how problems are solved in a country, in a nation that needs peace. Number four is to accept. We have to accept the responsibility. We have to accept let's say is the compensation. People who are killed innocently need to be compensated. That one has to be accepted. They have to agree, no argument about that. Okay. The other thing is to acknowledge whoever got hurt. They are killed, they are broken, their leg is arm broken, has to be actually acknowledged. That one, they have to have a list, even put down in our parliament. Okay. So that at least those people are recognized. And then the number five is to change our behavior, alter it. And there is a way I wrote about that, how to change a behavior in a country, a behavior of people, society. What do we need to change? Last time I talked about the integration of fighting tribe, and Nien has mentioned something like that. Okay, and integration of fighting tribe means integrating the administration. The country must be mixed up, like DH Amer when we were in Itang, we were in Panido, we were in Bonga. We weren't assigned based on the tribe. My group, I was actually only myself. A lot of them, they are from Bargazal. And that's why I learned my Denka. So you see, that one, I propose it. is the one way to change people mindset. I wrote it in my proposal, in my policy. The last thing is to ask forgiveness, and I talk about that. There is a pastor here who usually come here. I wanted you. There is a verse I like in the Bible, and I want all of you to read it. If you want to solve our problem, this problem, peace is not from human being. Let you not be cheated by anybody. If we want peace to coexist among ourselves, let's not try to say we're going to bring it like our power. No, that person will be cheating you. Peace belongs to God. It's not a human thing. I study about it and I know about it. You can read it from John chapter 14, verse 27, where God declared it, he owned the peace and he can give it to his people. So that means we have to acknowledge this, that peace belongs to God, so that at least in our mind, when we are discussing about peace, we put God first and then our power second. So that is how I go about. If you give me time on this forum to at least 1 hour to present this to the people of South Sudan, and then it will really be great. Okay. But now I don't want people cutting me. They go, oh, you do like this, you diverting people. No, that's not how we have to be intellectually to present ideas to the people, that solve problems. Because I dedicated my time and my energy to research about the problem of South Sudan, because I want to solve it actually. So that's why I have different ideas that are different from our country. If this one I try, even if I'm not a leader, you give it to Salva Kiir right now and Riek Machar and tell them to implement it, you will have peace you want. I don't have to be there. But if they don't know this, how to go about it, they will not even implement it. They will rather leave me here and run to Rome. My PhD and the PhD of somebody in Rome is the same. The PhD of Kenya, my PhD and PhD from somebody in Sudan. What is the difference? So you see, they will run there because, and then they will come with war, like the war of 2016. So that is what we are. I'm actually telling our people the solution of South Sudan. I have it. Actually, it's going to be published soon. It's actually a booklet. Is now going to be almost 200 pages, and I keep writing it about it every day. So thank you very much for bringing me here, and I really appreciate your time. So our problem will be solved by if we want to come together, we need these 7 strategies to actually talk about our problem, and then these 7 strategies will put us together. Then after that, we will come to the problem of the South Sudan as a whole, because the problem of South Sudan, I already identified it. Is a problem, and the solution I already put it. Is everything is ready. Like our brother here mentioned, he said that you need a problem, you need a peace. So that's right. Everybody is crying right now. The ordinary people, they are crying for peace, and that is why we are not like guitar. It's because of war. Even I went and read about Mundeng last time. There is a song in Mundeng. Nien knows this. Let me tell you, okay, so that tomorrow when it comes, it's not me, it's a prophet from our own prophet. Mundeng say that I will bring all the 4 leaders, the 4 main leaders, into Luak. The language of long time ago, Luak means parliament of our president right now. I will bring the four leaders into Luak, and then after that, then they're going to be they're going to be mad of each other, and they will kill it themselves. And who are these 4? People don't know because they cannot. They even ignore the word of prophet. So the 4 leaders are the 2 Denka and the 2 Nuer leaders right now in Juba. Those others tribe, the Mundeng as a prophet was only sent by God to only prophesy about the Denka and the Nuer. And this is one thing that people don't know. So that's why, and Nyandengarang is not mentioned because she's a lady, and in our culture, Denka and Nuer, they don't consider women. So now it's only 4 leaders: is Riek Machar, Abdel Bagi, Taban Dengai, and Salva Kiir. And actually Mundeng named them. So that could be an era where we can actually we can talk about it, and how, if that one happened, what is the transition is then? Is the country going to be actually end up in tribal line? No, we need to step up. We need to come together like what you are doing. But without this 7 step, nobody is going to come together, my brother. We will be cheating ourselves. So thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Don Lorgen. I appreciate your words you share with us. I hope. I think we have been inviting you since when you declare your party. Lagos State Media is a platform for everybody to use to come and address the public. You share your ideas with the people. But you fail to come up and you face the audience, declare your party, your vision to the nation. So that thing, you just come cutting. When you see the show and you got the link, you come in. We don't. It is not our right to cut people. But when you jump in and you try to come and move people out of the topic, this is where we get in. So thank you for your word. Maybe we will meet tomorrow in the show of the tribalism, how we can resolve that thing. Apologize for my colleagues because this show is meant to be only 2 hours every fortnight, but now we have consumed 3 hours. Ustaz Mading Wada, Fursa Hagak, and then I will give it to Arnold and Abuna. Me and Nagar will close the show shortly. Fadal Ustaz.
Thank you very much, Isaac, and thanks to our audience and my colleagues in the studio. I'm not going to talk about the show because the show is over already. It's been diverted. There's no show anymore because the topic, we are outside the topic. We are talking something different, unfortunately. I do apologize for that. That was not the intention of the show. We are doing something totally contrary, something totally different, and I'm very upset. Really, I have to tell you guys, I'm very upset. That is not the reason we came. First of all, I have my own political party, and this is not the platform for the parties here. If you have, when we come up with our program, we tell the Lagos State Media we are going to talk about political party, our programs. And we have our programs and we talk for a whole day, or what the hours which have been allocated to us. And people will ask questions. This topic now is being totally diverted to different political platform, which is unfortunate. That's one thing. What I wanted to say, I had a Kenyan professor who is my friend. He finished from Cambridge. He's a professor of political science in Nairobi University was. And one time he told me a very funny story. He was appointed by President Moi as the Minister of Cooperatives. And when he went to the ministry, Moi is not the graduate of university. Moi, he did education, technical school of education, and he was a president. Professor went and in the ministry, he was teaching the directors, address directors, and the secretary and all the people about how the politics should work, the way he taught the people in Nairobi University. Unfortunately, he created problems. One time he told me Moi asked him to come to visit him in his house. He went to Moi house. There were only two. They had a dinner that was Saturday, and Moi told him, Professor, there are a lot of complaint about you in the ministry or what you are handling the issues in the ministry. They said, yeah, these guys, I'm a political science. Said, no. The political science theory you teach in university is different than the politics we talk here. It's totally different. Salva Kiir Mayardit could not be the most educated South Sudanese, but is one of the, although I oppose him, is one of the intelligent politicians in South Sudan. That's why he managed to be there until today. It's not about PhD. It's not about studies. It's about how you manage the issues. It's the human race issues which are really address the sentiment of the people, their priorities, their needs, and what they want to do. That is one thing. Second thing, when you go attend any function, if you are asked to come because we have a funeral, you are not going to talk about the wedding. When you are asked to come and talk about wedding, you are not going to talk about birthday. Kullu shajara bi'arfu bishunu, ba'uragu bisimaru. That's another thing which I would like to mention. The last thing is good ideas from Professor Daljo to come up with the issues. That's really very good. The thing is, when we talk about Rwanda and Singapore and also about Qatar, there's a room also we are going to discuss other countries. You can suggest Rwanda. I mean Sierra Leone. You can suggest Cambodia. You can suggest other countries. Which are modalities we are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And whatever happened in any country will not. And I mentioned from very beginning. We mentioned from very beginning. South Sudan, not Singapore. It's not Rwanda. It's not Qatar. It's not going to be Liberia. Each country has its own problems. There must be formula working in one country, we may benefit from it. There will be another formula working in another country, we may benefit from it. We may benefit political change in Cambodia. We may benefit economic change in Rwanda. We may benefit the social coexistence in Qatar. There are so many things we want. This is the reason of this concept of this. Not we are going to take things like that and put it down. That's not going to work. But we need to exchange all these views. He talk about peace also. I do respect his feelings. I do respect his religious beliefs. And I don't have problem with that. And Abuna is there. Please accept my apology in advance. Peace could be inviolable. But like country he mentioned, which is called Cambodia, that's a Buddhist country. They got nothing to do with the Bible. And they got peace now. We have peace when it came in Japan. They are not Christian. They have their own religion. In China, they are not Christian. They have their own religion. In India, there is peace in those countries. Peace could be anywhere. It's a human right and a mankind right. Therefore, he is talking about Mundeng. At the same time, he's talking about Bible. And these are two contrary things. I don't know exactly, is he a believer of Mundeng or is he a believer of Bible, of Jesus Christ? I'm lost here. And those are the few things. I hope next time we will continue with the show because the show is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I thank you so much, Ustad. I will go to Arnold Benjamin Villa because I really apologize for whatever has happened, guys. We have been drilled to the program that we were doing. Arnold, Fadal.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my God. I'm really confused what I'm going to say here. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for feature that you guys made. What I want to say exactly is that when we create this show by purpose. As brother Mading put it, is right. We've been have a problem. There's a lot of problems in South Sudan, but we cannot manage to solve them right away. There will be a mechanism that we can use to solve tribalism, mechanism we can use to solve the financial economy, mechanism we can use to solve what they call tribalism. But when we mix them together, actually, it cannot work. We really put a lot of time to design this program so that we can actually convey our message to people of South Sudan who have suffered a lot of not understanding what's going on from the political part of view, economic part of view, and all this kind of thing. We really need to educate them. That's why we designed this program, to come in Pacific time, to deliver our message in Pacific time, not to dividing out like my brother actually did. To my brother, Lord John, you have a right to advocate whatever you want, like a Mundeng, a Bible, a lot of things. And you have a right, like a South Sudanese citizen. You can demand this program from Lagos State Media, and they will give you a platform. If you want 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and put all your programs together, and then come and convince the people of South Sudan. If it is work, it's well done. If it's not work, let us wait, and the time will come for you to do what you want to say. We are the people, actually, we don't have a way. If today Sudan government say, okay, South Sudanese, I don't want your petrol to pass by my country, and then Uganda came and say, okay, I don't need my thing to go to South Sudan, and the same thing Kenya and Ethiopia. What will happen? Because we fail. That's why our people of South Sudan have education background to come together to see what happened to others' country. That's achieved a lot. Because we are in the mercy of those countries. And we really avoid it to be a failed country. You know, if you don't have an economy in your country, that you fail. That's why we really need to come together to think ahead and put things together. And then to say a more like other country, a landlocked country like Botswana and Zimbabwe, how they manage to survive. Those are the things that we need. These are the things that we need to come together to put all the program, and then we can convey it to South Sudanese, to South Sudan government. And we are the part of this program. That's why we created this show to bring our brainstorm, and we put some notes down. Maybe later on, who knows, maybe one day we will go there, and then we can face the government with our own little idea. We have it here. Thank God we have all this qualification. We have it here. We have doctors, engineers, geologists, and all these kind of teachers, and all this kind of thing. And they are abroad here, and they have tremendous qualification that can help South Sudanese. That's the show is about. It's not a show to come and then advocate your political background. We appreciate that, but you have your own time. You can come and do it. So next time when you come, please, we're begging you. You have to come with the point that people discuss, and then you can contribute. If you don't have an idea, please let our show go on. Oh, thank you very much. To the viewers and to the people who are here, we are really sorry for diversion of our show. And this is not meant to be like that, but in other way, next time, Isaac, I really want to tell you, when you see somebody is out of the point, you have to stop them or maybe to put it off. Because like Mading, he put a lot of studies so that he can show what Qatar became a great country. And now we lost it. If tomorrow, if you say, no, I will not come because the show will be diverted, who's going to be suffering? It is we, South Sudanese. We have to benefit from him because he got that education by a lot of things, and we need him to teach us as a South Sudanese. Tomorrow will be like Qatar. Those are the show. Those are the main reason that we create this show. So next time, I hope anybody want to come in, they have to be Zoom the program that we are doing here. Yes, we talk about security. We cannot do anything without security, and this is the fundamental issue. And then we will talk about it. How the people like America and other countries managed to establish this security. And we have XP that will come back. We come that show. We have some people here in Canada here, they are police, and they are in the army, and they are willing to help us back home in South Sudan with the idea they learn from here. Those are the things that are coming up. So next time, I hope we'll be stick on the program, and then we will give a chance for somebody who dedicate his time to come and show us what he learned from other countries. We have to respect those kind of people. And thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you so much, Arnold. On behalf of Lagos State Media, I do apologize of the inconvenience that have occurred in this show today. Is not meant and is not appropriate, and we're working in it. We learn from the mistakes. So the next shows, the intellectuals who want to join in and participate, we will be knowing them. Even the link will not be the public again anymore. We will be just restricting it until we know what you are coming to talk about, or you just coming to show up or doing something. This is we will be having a meeting anyway. Always we do have evaluation meetings after the show. Sorry for what has happened for our viewers down there and the panels, all of you. Pastor John Mayerdut, the floor will be yours. We people, we sat down and we analyzed, we came up with this idea, how we can help the country. You are the leading figure as a man of God, and that's why I left you behind further.
Okay, thank you, brother Isaac. I really appreciate the invitation that you guys sent me. At the beginning, I went in to do the introduction, and then I moved back because I was in somewhere else. And give you guys the floor so you guys can brainstorm about the topic, because those show was being designed professionally to bring out the ideas to give us the step forward. And then we can learn from ourselves. We can learn from those professional people. And actually, I do my pleasure to all of you, my brother Peter Belew, and my brother Arnold Bill, and my brother Madin Wada, and my brother David Kondak, and my brother Dolarjan. He just came and put his own capsula and then he left. And I want him to be here because even he just touched Nazbita Kanisa when he was right sometimes, you know. And then, you know, all of us in the Nahaja Buwaja Furaz Bitana, Haja Buwaja Gulu Bitana. Lakin, that's why I send you a video. When you show the video of Qatar, there is another video, and there is another video in version in Arabic. I have it. I will give it to you one. All those ideas regarding Qatar, you know, are very good ideas to learn from it. Not because we are the same as Qatar, not because we are the same as those kind of things. That will remind us where did we get lost. And that's the point we want to look for it. We're looking for point where when we get lost. And for us as a Southern Sudanese, and that's where I want to focus right now. As a Southern Sudanese, you know, when people coming out for the trauma, and that's where I always give it back to those people who went to the field of the war as children until they grow up in there. Dol Arjan is one of them. You know that we have the issue, and that issue, when I took my camera away, you can see me standing on something praying. And that praying, it was starting very beginning when we took the independence. Because I was feeling there is something wrong going on. in ourselves. And that's something wrong going on in ourselves. That's where we fail as a church of God. We fail. Because Church of God if he was pushing harder from the beginning, after the CPA was signed, and push harder, this is the word we can say in that day. According to Ephesians chapter 4, start from verse 1 to 6. Therefore, my brother and sister, I, the prisoner of the Lord, beg you to live a life worthy of the calling into which you have been called. Each one of us, as the South Sudanese people, everybody have a call. If you are being called to be a doctor, please prove to us as a doctor. You have been called as an engineer, prove to us you are an engineer. But the غربلة الحصل في جنوب السودان نحن ما عارفين الدكتور منو والحكيم منو والمهندس منو. All of us بقى الأمراس. أستاذ دار يكون وزير، والباشمهندس عايز يكون وزير، والدكتور عايز يكون وزير، ومعرفة عايز يكون وزير. وزول يخرج من اليونيفرسيتي, when people graduate from university, he want to be hired as a grade 1. There is no experience. There is no country like that. And that's why, my brother and sister, the calling we have, we abandon it. With all the humanity, we don't have humanity among us. We don't have gentleness. We don't have patience with one another. We don't have love for one another. And those kind of things cannot happen when we don't have peace among us. And that's why, my brother and sister, God Bugulena, there is one thing that we're supposed to know as a South Sudanese. We are one body. Whether inter Nuer, or inter Chuluk, or inter Morley, or inter Zande, or inter Arab, or Chuluk, or Jurchol, or what Gavira Yunta, Latuka, Zande, Fajulu, whatever. You are one body. Ring that in your mind. Because one body, think one thing. Think together in love. Think together in love. Because all of us, we assume we are Christian. And somebody assume they're not bitabalit. Hindu ma'alab Daniel bitom. Wala kujur bitom. Wala wundeng bitom. Mada aliha bita junub. This is the God of Southern Sudan. Why we don't use them for the benefit of South Sudan? إذا كان God that Jesus Christ is not نافع, God بتاعكم بتاع الله بتاع جنوب السودان وينه? Where is it? Is it God to divide us? No. No, my brother. نحن بنعرف زمان مما نحن خلقونا وقمنا وولدونا من أمهاتنا إنه في حاجة اسم one God. في الله واحد بس، ما في اثنين. عشان كده my invitation to you, as God said, فأطلب إليكم أيها أنا الأسير في الرب أن تسلكوا كما يحق للدعوة بكل تواضع ووداع وبطول الأناة. People have to be patient for one another. That's what we need as a South Sudanese. Yes, in there are different schools, different ideas, but all those cannot work in Qatar because all those different ideas, they put in one plate like this Quora. كل different idea ده خدوه في كورة واحد عشان يطبخ سوا، عشان ينجد سوا، عشان يجيبوا حاجة كويس. جابوا حاجة اسمها قطر. Now we can see as example now around the world. We, in our differences, we can bring our own differences, our own ideas, our own background, and let us have to try to vision one, what kind of vision we have to make us one. Because we don't have that now. We don't have the vision. We don't have something to unite us. And one of those things can unite us is if we can accept ourselves as a South Sudanese in one unit. That's number one. Number two, if we can accept ourselves in the country wahid, now we have to speak one language. Even though we speak 64 languages, but we can put all those 64 in one language of love. And that will make country called Sudan Ililama. And Isaac, brother Isaac, go back, look for those, and brother Agar Mabok, look for those professionals, bring them on board, and please help them. Let them reveal what they have. Let them reveal what they have. Because I need Muhandisin to talk. I need Muallimin to talk. I need those of experts to talk, so we can learn from them. And let us, we as a diaspora, work together as a community. And then we will work together in unity and say, oh, my brother in Juba, Sudan, please give us a chance. We can do this better because we have resources. Because we have understanding. Understanding can turn things around. مش understanding نمشي كنيسة ونلم نقول hallelujah. No, that's what it is. It's not what it is. Understanding إنه نجيب الناس ديل ونفسر لهم الكتاب المقدس. حتى لو سألت الناس اللي في كنيسة هسه في جوبا وين هل أنت يوم واحد أنت شفت لك قاعد ناس قاعدوا عشان يدرسوا الكتاب المقدس مع بعض to learn the Bible? No, because they don't have time for that. If they can manage to come for 1 hour for Sunday, good for them. That's it. ويمشي كمان يوم البكا أو يوم بتاع حفلة بتاع باري كده بتاع wedding عنده خطة فوق قريبة 3-4 مليون دولار. دول بذات المستوى، فخفخة بذات المستوى، وانت ما عندك دخل. It means a lot. My brother and sister, أنا بقيف هنا. My prayer to you, continue the good work. Continue the good work and try to bring all the aspects. And I can say to my brother Medin Wada, don't be upset. Take it easy and breathe. Bring back what you have, and we will benefit from it. And let me give you my blessing in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you so much, Buna John Mayardut. It's a good conclusion that you have made. I've already apologized, and Lake State Media is gonna look into it, evaluations. and everything will be fixed. The next series will be running smoothly without any problem again. Agar Deng Mabok Fadal and Kutuma Lake Kaman.
Shukran. Thank you, Brother Isaac Jengfol, and the rest who are in the panel here with us, and those who were watching the show, our viewers, wherever you are. We thank you so much for patientness, and those who are ready to come within the next fortnight. You guys understand everything, what is going on, and what is going to happen for the next show. And also, we urge everybody, please, to focus on the topic that has brought up for that day, anytime. And if you want also to bring your program to Lagos State platform, you are highly welcome. Anytime you want, just let us know, and then we will program it, and we'll put it, we'll give you a time, deadline, everything, so that you can come with it and invite your brothers and sisters to join you within that show talk, so that we respect all of you. That's why we sit here 4 hours, 3 hours is voluntary work. It not belong to us, belong to all South Sudanese. So we need to respect our time, especially those who are hosting Lagos State media. We are a team, and we volunteers ourselves to come and sit down with you, brothers and sisters, to discuss our issues in different corners, and we need to come up with a conclusion which will lead us, all of us as South Sudanese, into the better future. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you, Agar. Thank you so much. I have to say that thank you all for tuning in for these 4 hours. It's already 4 hours now. For coming in and being with us. For those who just offered their time, you stop your personal things that you should have done by this time, and you come and give your talent or your knowledge to the public, the citizen of South Sudan. I have to say thank you for that, and we continue. Nothing will stop us. Our journey has started. These are the things that could happen anyway. They will be there, but we will be working in it how to fix it. So I have to say thank you. They are Kilma Afanan Gordon Kong to Gulu Sudan Mujahihin, and we never know where we are going, where we are coming. So that is the meaning of the song, and that is the conclusion of this program. And I have to say thank you so much. God bless you all. Go in peace, brothers and sisters.
Belena, Sudana, Belena, 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 Taban, and the Mali Arabuna. Kaliju Bayana, Belena, Mamruta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira Lena, Yalna Maidin, Bainana Arabuna. Belena, 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 Taban, and the Mali Arabuna. Kaliju Bayana, Belena, Mamurta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira Lena, Yalna Maidin, Bainana Arabuna. Belena, 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 Taban, and the Mali Arabuna. Kaliju Bayana, Belena, Mamurta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira Lena, Yalna Maidin, Bainana Arabuna. Ya Kab Sudan, Ya Kwana, Shitlkum, Beletfiu, Mushakil, Kalbi Miten Verta. Miten terda, galbi miten terda. يا جاب سودان يا كنا شكلكم بلد فيهم مشاكل قلب 200 درجة 200 درجة قلب 200 درجة يا جاب سودان يا كنا شكلكم بلد فيهم مشاكل قلب 200 درجة 200 درجة قلب 200 درجة أنا بكيد عشانكم يا سودان شد لكم يا جماعة شد لكم يا جماعة ربنا بيساعد أنا بكيد عشانكم يا سودان شد لكم يا جماعة شد لكم يا جماعة ربنا بيساعد.
It's your boy Young Love, I give him that thing. Punch your leg, stay the punch in America. Punch you do all the ban, punch your leg, stay the punch in America. Punch you do all the ban, walk on your leg, kankaro what I know watching. Oga level leg, gear, pow, leg leg. Panda with ya, punch in America. Panya do all the no, chingatongo pandon, could you ever buy a check? Papu panda, you what ya be. Punch in America, punch you do all the pan, punch your leg, stay